Somebody's Watching You, posted to Instagram by Henry Cavill. This clip is seemingly just a simple, albeit incredible instructional video in which Superman actor Henry Cavill puts together a gaming PC. But not everything is as it seems. As Henry pieces this monster together, sharing his expertise, the project turns into an all-day event and darkness falls outside. That's when you see this eerie face in the window. In the comments, memes like one points it out to Henry, writing, "There is a creepy face behind the window. What is that?" Well, Cavill has no answer. Miss Nightmare does, suggesting it might be a ghost or a lurker. Well, Danny Maiden thinks it's a Joker painting. What do you think it is? Just an altogether eerie reflection? Or is something or someone lurking on Henry? When somebody finds a spider in their home, some people would swat it on the spot with the nearest object, while others would try to find some way to let it go outside. Then there are a small percentage who would grab a camera and let the spider crawl all over them, like Feo3 here.
Oh yeah. I got a spider crawling on me.
He never intended for the arachnid to take a detour across his throat and then stamp its way across his face. He manages to stay calm and only has one thing to ask.
And it's crawling on my face, isn't it?
Why, yes it is. Right towards your ear hole, unfortunately. Thinking fast, he tries to divert the spider away from his ear, but ends up encouraging it to almost burrow straight inside. He is so lucky that the spider decides not to do that, because that would have been a horrible trip to the hospital for sure. Not that having a spider in your hair is any consolation prize, but you get what I mean. If you're about to blame some nighttime mischief on your pet, hold off for a hot minute and watch this. Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit, Barton writes that his cat has been knocking things over at night for the past few weeks and waking them up, which is unlike him because he's a quiet cat during the day. So they set up a surveillance camera to try and catch him in the act. This is what they found. The first segment shows something fluttering the leaves of this flower on the table, but we know it's not the cat because he passes by the couch to the left. Later, as the cat is sitting on the couch, a dish towel falls from the fridge. Then an object is heard moving in the kitchen, and a close-up reveals the thing jiggling on its own on the counter. At the same time, a strange shadow appears on the front of the counter, although it's not clear if it's the cat being alerted to the sound or something else. Soon after, another object falls loudly from the countertop. Thus, we cannot see too well, nor do we know where the cat is. Then, after a strange orb moves through the scene, something else moves on the counter and is pushed to fall to the floor, all while the cat is perched on the table far away, watching. Then another object falls loudly next to it, which scares even the cat. This one wakes the owner up, who calls his cat a pain, but after watching the video in the morning, we're sure he regrets that. Was this cat, as some Redditors suggest, just protecting her owner at night? YouTuber Kelsey Davies investigates the Meg House, a house haunted by its former residents. As they're entering, a strange sound is heard.
Oh, wow.
So these are the rooms that you got to see originally?
Yeah.
Then Kelsey feels a presence behind her.
Whoa. The floor just shook behind me. That was so weird. Oh, it felt like someone was stepping like on the floor behind me.
Oh my gosh. So
As one of Kelsey's guests shares some info about the home, they hear something.
everything I know about Mary, she was super kind and wonderful. I've actually had descendants of the family with memories of the family still living here up until 1955, where Mary still...
Kelsey speaks to the spirit present, and she answers.
If you can figure that out, if you can make it beep for us, we would absolutely love that and appreciate that. You can use that energy from my light.
In fact, she seems very excited to speak to them.
Are you able to figure out how to use this? I don't know how to explain how to use it. Is there anything you want to say to Jamie or she does. Oh my God.
And things start to get personal.
Are you the man that was in the car with me? Yes. Heard my husband or something? Did that say so?
Strings moving and unexplained sounds are heard.
You see the lamp? Is there like air or something moving the strings? See how the strings are like moving? It's like not really focusing on it. Oh.
When they try to contact a spirit in one of the room, they receive a whisper.
If there's anyone here with us, can you make a tap noise or a knock? I know there was a little boy.
Amongst the museum cat's paw prints, they see what looks like a fingerprint as well.
Have you ever seen like fingerprints on here? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, what are those?
We have a museum cat.
Oh, cute.
Probably
What is that?
While discussing the coughing they heard earlier, they hear something in the moment.
have to check.
I heard like, I almost sounded like a woman like coughing really hard, and it sounded painful, like, like, you know how tuberculosis is like really, it came from over there.
Their paranormal devices are actively triggered in one of the hallways.
This, I'll show you how it works. I heard a little boy go like, ooh, he's never seen this. Whoa.
What is that?
Ashley, what does that mean? It doesn't do that.
After moving the devices slightly, they continue to be triggered.
Oh my gosh.
They are so active in here, it's insane.
And once they reach the attic, it sounds like someone is there with them.
Any fingerprints on there?
I know, I'm not trying to see.
Heard something over there.
While their investigation didn't capture anything definitive, in my opinion, there are enough pieces to puzzle together that this place is haunted. The family never left. The Borgwanet house, built in 1876 in Sweden, is said to be one of the most haunted places in the world. Scratching, knocking, and screaming comes from the walls, not to mention shadow figures and objects moved by a ghost. The first reports of paranormal activity were in 1927, and they've continued ever since. Dima Maslenikov wants to document any and all paranormal activity on camera. It does not take long. The house is still when he hears a weird noise. It sounds like an EVP of a distant scream. He gets up and looks in the room. Two knocks, both coming from this door. He sets up a toy for a ghost to play with that also has a motion sensor.
Честно говоря, вот про эту комнату я толком ничего не знаю. И про нее
Not only does the motion detector fall off, it continues to stay on for a full 3 seconds. When he turns around, something was in the room with him, a paranormal entity. There wasn't anyone in the room. The bear falls over on its own. Next, he finds an infamous old rocking chair that's said to be the center of a lot of paranormal activity. He takes a flash Polaroid and notices a large dark shadow hanging over it, a shadow that does not look like it was cast by the chair because it's in front. He tries to recreate the lighting conditions and is unable to make the same round shadow appear. No matter how many pictures he takes, it never comes close to being like this one. This does seem to indicate that it's a shadow figure caught on camera in the first photo. The investigator summons his courage and goes exploring the second floor of the Bourgoinet house. As he's watching the ceiling light moving by itself, a ghost pushes him. Watch for the camera blur as it walks by. That's when he notices a heavy piece of furniture has been pushed in front of a door. Someone was trying to keep something from getting out of its room. He moves the barricade and looks inside. It's an attic space with a small table for someone small to eat at by themselves. The space is empty. Whatever they were trying to keep inside has already left, so the legend spoke of shadow people screaming and knocking from the walls and objects moving by themselves. It's hard to believe it, but he really does seem to have encountered all of the creepy stuff in one visit, and it all somehow seems real. 9 out of 10 people do not immediately notice what's wrong with this handshake, so allow me to show you where to look. Trust me, you'll be sorry that I did.
Give me your hand.
I like cake, I just don't like the icing on it.
That's my main.
This is someone's right hand, and yet they're on the left side. Also, look at their fingernails. They're facing the wrong way. How can this be? The answer isn't pretty. The condition is called hypermobility. Though the phrase double jointed is commonly used, it's mostly genetic, meaning you are either born with this unusually large range of movement or not. Only 20% of people have it, though typically not to this degree, and there's no way for the rest of us to gain this talent, if you want to call it that, so don't even try to practice. Like most people, watching this video makes me feel like my fingers are going to fall off. Tell me if you would be able to shake the hand of someone with hypermobility while they were doing this. I mean, it's creepy, but also kind of cool. The jinn is back. That's right, the shape-shifting creature of Arabic mythology that is said to have the capacity to possess humans is yet again making an appearance in this clip. Hassan Barbar believes he's caught one on camera. Posted in January of 2020 on YouTube, he writes in Arabic, "I've never seen a jinn before." Outside of a stone building, the man captures something on film peering out at him from behind a palm tree. It pokes its head out briefly before drawing back into hiding. As he approaches the palm tree, you can hear movement coming from within it. He continues to wander around the premises until he starts to hear something swinging. Turning the camera towards the sound, he finds an old swing set. One swing flings back and forth, though no one is there to push it, nor does the night appear at all windy, as the trees remain unmoving. A short while later, when he is in front of the entryway to the building, a window pane slides closed. Again, it appears as though no one is there to close it. Do you believe in jinn? This video has me creeped out to the max. We've all been there. It's a stormy night. Every sound in the house is an evil entity vying for your soul. That must have been what this man was feeling when he saw this happen in his dining room on a stormy night. The clip shows a man enter his dining room, which appears completely normal. Every chair in place. He enters his laundry room, then casts the camera down the stairs. It appears that something must have happened to cause him to search his house. He says hello down the stairs. Is someone or something there? He decides decides to go into his basement to investigate. The wooden steps are incredibly rickety. As he's nearing the bottom, a terrifying racket is heard upstairs. He runs for his life, only to find his kitchen chairs precariously stacked up, balanced one on top of the other. The dining room light is swinging around. The shot is still as the man crosses the room and stands frozen in fear at this ominous sight. The overhead light continues to swing, and nothing is there. There's something especially uneasy about the stacking of this man's furniture. Part of that uneasiness comes from the fact that no human could have done this particular building job in the short period of time that the man was away. Who do you think did it? Or what? A Nepali YouTube channel named Anish Gurung TV are not full-time ghost investigators, but they do have some paranormal investigation videos in abandoned places that get pretty creepy. An apparition seems to follow them on one of their urban explorations. This is when they first hear it. I want to say that this is the wind, but it's a calm night and this sounds way too much like a haunting moan. They reach the top and look around, feeling the presence of a ghost near them at all times. There's nowhere else left to explore, so they go back to the bottom and are about to leave when they hear it again twice.
Wait.
But I've saved the best paranormal evidence for last. At 4 minutes and 20 seconds, they capture these eyes and a sigh from behind. They didn't hear or see it at the time, but like I said in the beginning, they're not professional ghost investigators and missed some of the scariest things caught on camera. A man steps out of his sandals before going into the house for a bit. Well gone. To his amazement, his shoes are caught on a home security camera moving on their own. The movements are subtle at first, but soon it becomes clear that his footwear is going for a walk by itself. I thought maybe he was using a string under the front door, but it can't be that explanation because the sandals actually move away from the door. I think this video might be edited because there's always a loading icon shortly before the sandals move. Maybe they are secretly pausing the video to move the objects themselves and then recording again. I honestly don't know enough about this particular security camera to know for sure, so if you have this model, then let me know if my instincts are correct. Paranormal activity was recently caught on video by this family in Pakistan, but I'm not sure if this is a poltergeist or just them throwing things around, so help me decide. Most of the objects come from the corner of the screen and could have been easily thrown by someone off camera. I'm not sure how they made the table come back after it was thrown against the wall, but it doesn't look that heavy, so maybe it was on a wire. I guess we'll never know for sure. YouTuber Jasi Sandhu Official captured what he believes is a real witch on camera. First, he hears her crying. Then he sees her. What? What? Then she lets out this wail that would drive anyone away. Oh, you got. Is this truly a witch? I think so. I've never heard something so otherworldly in my life. Mysterious, unexplained lights were recently sighted over Brazil, just north of Rio de Janeiro. The diagonal formation of strange lights stretches into the night sky and blinks in and out of sight. It's not a constellation because there are no stars in the sky, just these strange, unexplained lights that slowly move to the right and glow a fierce red when the camera zooms in. As the camera moves across the city to show there are no stars, they see more strange lights in the sky. These ones closer to Earth, a large column of lights at 56 seconds that should not be there at all. It looks like it could be a building, but according to them it's not. More lights seem to drop and lower to the ground, but it's too far away to tell. When he zooms out, he is surprised to find most of the skylights are already gone. This happened on June 24th of 2020, and if you're wondering why it was never reported on the news, maybe it's because we were never supposed to find out. Paranormal explorer Crisel Luna has spent many sleepless nights due to paranormal activity in her home in the Dominican Republic. She decided to record her bedroom while sleeping. This is what she captured. Watch the pillow on the bed. Next, the picture moves on the wall. Crisel wakes up for a bit, maybe sensing something, but then goes back to sleep, and the picture moves again. Crisel gets up after witnessing it for herself. That's when she sees this mysterious anomaly. And while outside, she captures this face in the window. Has Crisel unknowingly brought home legions of spirits and demons during her paranormal investigations? That's my theory, and it seems they're determined to never let her sleep again. An extravagant wedding in Brazil has plans for the bride to arrive by helicopter. She and her brother are waiting to surprise the groom and everyone else who are patiently waiting not too far away. The skies are gray and there's no visibility. I'm guessing the pilot was probably navigating by special flight instruments when one of them falls, as indicated by the buzzing noise that begins at 1 minute and 46 seconds and continues for 10 seconds all the way down. The camera is ejected from the helicopter and rolls into a field. The red seen on the grass is actually the flashing emergency lights of the helicopter. Truly a horrifying event. Ever have that feeling that someone else is here? YouTuber Exploring with Joe has. I'll let him explain.
Hi guys, got an experiment today. I used the SLS the other day and there was a figure lying on the settee. So I'm going to do a little bit of an investigation just to see if there's anything in my house.
As he speaks to the spirits via the spirit box, his K2 spikes.
Can you say Jean for me, if you are Jean?
Jean is here. Joe gets double confirmation.
Is this Jean I'm talking to?
With the investigation complete, one question remains: is Jean a good spirit or an evil one? I suppose that would depend on what weird stuff the spirit has been up to in Joe's house. I'd keep a watchful eye on things if I was him. Number 12. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you while you slept? The truth is, they might be. A couple in Bucktown, Chicago, discovered an intruder had crept into their home to take their valuables and to watch them creepily as they snoozed on the sofa. He was captured on a security camera gazing at the couple, Jordan and Jack, from the upstairs balcony while they slept below on their couch during a Netflix binge. It was only when Jack said to his girlfriend, "Why are you at the top of the stairs wearing a white hoodie before we went to bed?" and she answered, "I wasn't at the top of the stairs," that the pair started to freak out. The intruder stood over them, watching for nearly 5 minutes the first go around. Then he went back to snooping through the couple's things, only to return and gaze at them for another 5 minutes. The intruder is believed to have burglarized other neighborhood homes. He managed to get into the house through their bedroom balcony door, which they left open. In fact, he was so light on his feet that the couple's dogs didn't even budge. They slept the whole while at their owner's feet. What valuables did he take? As it turns out, only Jordan's purse. In fact, this was the reason the couple watched the surveillance video in the first place. They'd gotten into an argument about where Jordan had left the purse. Jack suggested she'd forgotten it at the restaurant they'd gone to the previous night. Jordan insisted she'd brought it home. Moral of the story, binge watching Netflix is more unsafe than you'd think. A YouTuber named Lou Rock is live streaming from a supposedly haunted location known only as the Yellow House. He and his friend are cautiously poking around the abandoned building when a faint noise sends them running directly into a large room to investigate. The room is bare except for an inordinate number of gnarled clothes hangers in the closet, which begin twisting in unison, almost as if in acknowledgement of their presence.
There's not a window open in here. Wow.
This is on live stream, so you can see for yourself. At no point did they touch the hangers. I think the hangers really are being moved by an unseen force based on what I'm about to show you next. As you can see from this video, there is no wind moving the blinds or curtains at all, so it couldn't have been a draft moving the hangers. They continue to find more weird miscellaneous objects scattered around the house, including a rope tied to a ripped kid's shoe.
It looks like somebody was hung up by their feet.
Giant holes have been punched into the wall of this room, either from destructive teens or from the previous house owner during an aggressive fit of rage. Just as they are sensing something deeply wrong with the kitchen, something brings them back into the room with blown out walls.
Yeah, me too. What's that?
They are genuinely creeped out by now and don't make it much further before the sound returns again.
Alright, we're out of here.
At this point, Lou Rock wisely decides to leave before he becomes the Yellow House's next permanent resident. If something falls from above, the universe may be trying to tell you something. Published to YouTube in June of 2020 by MD Vines Official. This will leave you shaking. Out in the jungle at night, a group is discussing something while standing outside of this obscure structure. The moon is full above. They start to see a small point of light blinking in the darkness. They follow it as it moves. Then all of a sudden, something heavy like a brick falls from above. The group starts running like mad. What just tried to take their lives? Whatever it is, the creature is vengeful. They'd better watch their step. Is this a ghost or just the cold? Posted to the r/Chills Narrator subreddit by Louis D Vlogs X. This scary video was filmed in a cemetery during a live stream. The video shows old tombstones scattered throughout the graveyard. As the camera pans around, that's when you see it.
Like nibble out. Does it say so? Just for the grass to settle?
A semi-transparent figure appears to walk across the screen from right to left. It's so quick that it's difficult to tell what you're looking at. The camera then lands on one of the living crew, and it doesn't seem as though any of them saw this figure in the moment. Some in the comments think it's the cold breath of the crew member that you see moments later, but it certainly looks more solid than a breath in cold air. What do you think? I think some spirits are quite active at this graveyard. South Korean ghost hunter Yang Ma-hee is exploring an old abandoned haunted house for evidence of the paranormal. What he's caught on tape is up for debate, so let's get right to it. Tell me if you hear a footstep after he finishes his sentence.
계세요? 누구 계세요?
All of the rooms look completely ripped apart, and yet nothing has been taken. Drawers and shelves are overturned, but clothing and personal items remain largely untouched. It looks like the work of poltergeist activity to me, not thieves. A particularly angry poltergeist at that. But perhaps the scariest part of all is this EVP of a man's voice that completely overlaps his own when he touches the old owner's shoe.
이거 화장실이다.
That does not sound like a house settling or anything like that. It's definitely vocal cords. The ghostly voice of someone who is with us in spirit alone. Final analysis? Yeah, this video is about as paranormal as it gets. A ghost investigation video from Oregon, while admittedly grainy and out of focus, nonetheless captures two possibly paranormal instances that are worth analyzing. The first is a brief materialization of a shirt or tunic against the wall. From this floating clothing item, a phantom person emerges. Barely noticeable are the head, nose, and two eyes. Then again, this could be wavy details caused by motion blur, but motion blur does not explain the glowing white eyes that briefly flicker at 11 seconds into the video and quickly go away. I don't care how poor the camera quality is, whatever this is, in my opinion, it should not be there, and yet it is. Well, we've all heard the story of old Nessie, aka the Loch Ness Monster. You haven't seen anything like this footage. Published by Mark Hayes in October of 2014, the mythical creature surfaces in this scary video. The footage shows something large adrift in the middle of Loch Ness. The enormous creature breaks the surface with its eel-like body. It weaves around the lake, coming closer and closer toward the camera. Birds fly down, appearing to land on its back for a moment before flying off again. The creature's body even seems to curve up out of the water. While I've never seen a more convincing Nessie video, skeptics in the comments have me questioning things. Some commenters say it moves too rigidly and mechanically, and is more likely to be an underwater cable or a water dredge system utilizing a hose. Others think it could be an animal, not a monster, with Sue Copening writing, "Recently they have found eel DNA in the lochs in great numbers. Nessie could simply be members of a large species of eel, or perhaps eels. Is that all Nessie is? A gigantic eel?" It certainly has me questioning things. A YouTuber known as Mr. Carter experiences some strange activity in his bedroom, starting with a lamp that crackles with an abundance of electricity in the air, possibly paranormal energy. And this chair moves by itself as a burst of orbs becomes visible. Is something pulling a string under the bed? Probably not. The antenna falls over and a barely visible orb floats over the radio itself. The chair lurches in the other direction, followed by something breathing. It's very faint, so tell me if you want to hear it. I'm going to have to go with a poltergeist on this one, but tell me what you think. A customer reaches for a drink when he begins to shake and sputter out of control. It looks like it could be a seizure, but he does not fall down right away, so some people say it's a possession. At the 48-second mark, he points to something only he can see and begins shrieking in horror. This is when he goes down a second time and does not come back up. One minute and 5 seconds into the video, you can see a ghostly figure in the reflection to his left that could be the spirit of his aggressor. Paper towels fly to the ground on their own shortly after in a further indication of paranormal possession. Published by Tim Morozov in December of 2021, the paranormal investigator enters the most haunted of houses and encounters one of the most dangerous level 5 poltergeists he's ever faced off with. In the video, Tim draws a circle in chalk clock on the floor in the living room. Cameras are set up all around. He asks the spirits in the home to move things. After a time, something triggers one of his paranormal devices. The thermal imaging camera shows a great white orb floating in the vicinity. The orb passes by him where it hovers over the Ouija board. The planchette starts to spaz out all over the board. It doesn't seem to be spelling anything, it's just going berserk. The light then floats out of frame. After this, several items in the room float into the air. The light reappears and then seems to brush past Tim, knocking him to the floor. It comes back and knocks him again. Is this the most aggressive poltergeist you've ever seen? Tim left with his life this time, but next time he might not be so lucky. This mausoleum of sorts has been abandoned, and the YouTube team, Beyond the Grave, ventures inside to investigate. While there, they capture this incredible EVP through a spirit communication device.
Hopefully you guys are seeing all this.
My body's around here.
That's entirely too spot on to be dismissed. The spirit confirms that her body is amongst these coffins. Let's hear it one more time.
Hopefully you guys are seeing all this.
My body's around here.
I understand why her body's here, but why is her spirit lingering nearby? I think she is having a hard time letting go of the corporeal world. Number 50. You know it's going to be a good video when the license plate has been covered up, and check out the dual exhaust. Those pipes look like the perfect place for some snakes to hide. Keep your eyes on them because you're about to see something crazy. Okay, so that was a bit of misdirection, but you have to admit you did see something crazy, and I bet you didn't guess getting run over was how this video ends, and neither did the poor person recording. This must have been at a car rally based on the crowd. I guess the driver was so excited being the center of attention that he didn't check his mirrors before flying into reverse. I really hope they are alright, but I don't see how that's possible, considering how fast this souped up SUV was moving. A ghost hunting channel in India called Kayatha knows of a haunted railway where plenty of lives have been lost and therefore plenty of paranormal evidence to be found. K2 meter in hand, they walk down the paranormal path and wait for a sign. Occasionally they feel watched and stop to scan the horizon, but nothing is there. Soon a general feeling of unease becomes so unbearable that they stop to put down the K2 meter. They know a life was lost here and a ghost is nearby. They can feel it, and then
एहसास करवाएं वैसे आपने करवा दिए हैं
भाई रीडिंग देखो कितनी तेज आई है
अच्छा हमें साइन मिल रहा है
The ghost hunters aren't surprised to see the K2 meter spike hard for the very first time all night. They stand around for a long time staring into the darkness and getting nothing on camera. But just when they're about to give up,
कबीर भाई सामने देखो वहाँ पे जसी भाई
They go a few steps forward but stop when they realize the ghost has disappeared, or at least that's what they claim. They should have kept running if they wanted to prove it really was a ghost, but they were so creeped out by that point that maybe they didn't want to. It's easy to say that this is fake because they don't go forward far enough, but you never know how you'd react until you're the one having a ghost sighting. This paranormal ghost sighting video could be real. Yasa is exploring not a tunnel, not a cave, but a haunted well, as in a dark hole straight down. He gets strapped into a pulley system and slowly lowered into the claustrophobic entrance. Right away, he finds a snake at the bottom along with some other scary things that are way more concerning.
في شيء ترى هنا.
A toy blocks a small passage that he can't fit through, but a child can. Perhaps this is where the child who haunts this well crawled to after falling in. As he contemplates this possibility, something comes at him from behind.
المغارة هذه طويلة. هو كهف بس حرارة فيها غير طبيعي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
I think this is probably just part of the well, but it also kind of looks like the side profile of a boy's grinning face, rotten teeth and all. This video comes from a creepy YouTube channel ominously called I Know Where She Is, whatever that's supposed to mean. Anyway, whoever's filming seems to be at some old abandoned house that's covered in years worth of trash. A loud generator blocks out all sound. They turn around as if startled and shine their flashlight on the doorway, but they don't see anything. Neither did I the first time. Look again though, and you'll see the fleeing shadow of someone retreating from the doorway. Overall, it's hard to tell if this was a phantom figure or just the angle of the flashlight playing tricks across the wall. This dashcam video originates from somewhere in Russia. A large truck swerves out of the way of something invisible, narrowly missing oncoming traffic in the process. Then a pedestrian suddenly appears from behind the truck and calmly walks away like nothing happened. The uploader of this video is sure that this is a ghost, and assuming this video is not CGI, I would have to agree. Slow the video down and you can clearly see how nothing is in the truck's path at first, and then the person instantly appears only after the truck has passed. It's almost as if the truck has passed straight through them. Most bad guys see a security camera and think twice, but Jason Chekhov thinks that this one was attracted to his house specifically because of it, which he can get some money for if he can manage to get away. There's no doubt that he stops and looks directly at the camera at 9 seconds into the video. It's such an abrupt and dramatic turn that some people think the whole thing is fake, and that this person whose face is fully covered is none other than Jason Chekhov himself trying to get some views. I would agree that this could be a possibility, if not for the lengths of which the person is willing to go through to get inside. First, they put one arm under the other and try to wedge it open with force. Then they just try to open it the good old-fashioned way and give the glass 3 solid elbows. Finally, they try to simply pinch and lift, painfully snapping back their fingernail from the sound of it. The point is, I really doubt Jason Chekhov would have risked messing up his windows or his fingers trying to break his way in, though I could be wrong. A survival YouTube channel called Funky Prepper thinks they've caught a real ghost sighting caught on tape in the middle of what would therefore be a creepy haunted forest. He is talking about a tent that he likes to use when a pale ghost creeps through the woods behind him. It's not dust, it's not lighting. That's either a computer animation or the pale white outline of a ghost. Now here's the thing. The ghost encounter just so happens to occur in the middle of a sales promotion, so while this very well could be a genuine ghost sighting, the timing is a bit too much of a coincidence. It makes you think this apparition caught on tape could instead be a clever viral marketing video. A family is watching television when a mysterious knocking sound pulls them away from their show and into a frightening situation. Listen to this part and tell me if you can hear it too. They sit up and hear two more knocks, much deeper than before. It almost sounds like two heavy footsteps coming from within the room as he opens the door, but according to him, there was nothing to protect the home against. Absolutely no one was on the other side. One more observation, an orb happens to go by at the exact moment they hear the knocking sound, which I think could be a signal that someone's already found its way into their home. An everyday Canadian is the name of a YouTuber who can't seem to stop attracting the attention of the paranormal. One night he goes ghost hunting with a friend at an old spot known as the Lakeview Cemetery. They're not making any jokes and being very respectful as they pass over the sacred ground.
Oh, that's nice.
1923.
Wow, eh?
Yeah.
And at 3 minutes, his friend even performs a kind act.
Oh, this person lost their flowers. Let's put it back in there for them.
This light winks off as she passes by. This is what it looks like at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, completely off. And this is what it looks like at 3 minutes and 24 seconds, completely on. These lights are solar and wouldn't flicker off. She even says so herself at 2 minutes and 8 seconds, almost a full minute before any of this happens.
Anywhere it's lit up, they have like solar lights.
The light that does this is only 3 markers over from where she returned the flowers and happens 20 seconds later. I think she's definitely being contacted and told thank you. In 2009, a paranormal research group was tasked with investigating ghost sightings at a cemetery in Tampa Bay. They review weeks worth of footage and uncover some weird things caught on camera. They think this video is paranormal because an odd light goes behind a marker, placing this object, be it a ghost, an orb, or whatever you want to call it, somewhere behind the fence. Therefore, it's not a bug or a dust particle moving up close, though it could simply be edited. The ghost hunters claim to record the spot for 3 more weeks before any other paranormal evidence is caught on video. This time their camera picks up a shadow figure moving off screen, along with some kind of ethereal mist blanketing this area that does not look like normal fog. It happens at the same time a car drives by, so I'm hoping this shadow figure is just caused by passing headlights. Otherwise, this video might be as paranormal as they say. Have you ever got the feeling that you're being followed? Poppy's Paradise posted this footage to Reddit writing, "Something is following me." The guy in the clip says he was driving when he noticed something outside in the darkness. He stopped his car on the side of the road to film whatever it is, and he shouts a greeting to the figure outside the window.
There's something up here. Hello?
As he drives slowly past, the something that he saw following him comes into view. The figure looks like a girl straight out of The Ring, dressed in white with long black hair. The ghastly creature is seen only for a moment before the clip ends. Is this thing truly following him? We can only hope this was his only sighting. You would need serious courage to stay calm in a situation like this. There needs to be an explanation for these strange lights. Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit. Paleontologist Key 440 captured the security footage in his backyard. He writes that the property has been super active since they moved there in 2016, and this footage is from May of 2021, which must mean these types of occurrences are nothing new. The footage shows lights hovering and flashing, first to the left of the frame, and then on both sides simultaneously. Some in the comments think they're fireworks, but one user remarked that there is no smoke. What do you think it is? Extraterrestrial or paranormal? paranormal. I don't think either option is very ideal. A YouTuber and his friend are riding a motorcycle throughout the Indian town of Ooty when they unexpectedly zoom past a pedestrian clad in ancient-looking robes. Watch this part, and if you happen to share their language, please translate what's being shouted at the person here. I'm guessing that they probably said watch where you're going or something along those lines. Whatever it is that they said, it must have really upset the other person, because after driving in a straight line for about another minute, this happens. They come across the same person as before. Yet this is impossible because there is no way that the person could have been traveling on foot faster than what they were doing on a bike. Suddenly it dawns on them that they were most likely taunting a spirit, and it looks like they actually get off their bike to flee. This video looks very authentic, and I'm inclined to believe it is real because there's no added music or sound effects, just raw footage. If anyone is from the town of Ooty or lives nearby, let me know if these sightings are common in the area, or better yet, tell me if you've ever seen something like this yourself. After experiencing paranormal activity in her home, Beth Ann Thorson bought some Nest cameras. Then she captured these strange flashes, which she shared on Facebook. The flashes are seen again in a second video. Some in the comments suggest they could be flashing in Morse code, but after checking with a military friend of the family, the couple nixed that theory. Beth Ann also checked her phone's providers, potential faults, and updates, but nothing explains why the flashing occurred, and it's particularly alarming that it happened on each phone individually. Many in the comments believe the spirits are trying to communicate with them. Others think they're just letting them know they're there. Well, my first thought is that it could be an Amber Alert, which would impact all phones in the area. I agree that it may be some form of communication from the beyond through the phone's energy. Whatever it is, it's highly unsettling. This house has the hand of the devil on it. YouTube team HD Adam investigates the creepy place, and hopefully they won't be touched by it. As they search the empty place, loud bangs and creepy whispers are heard. I don't think that voice was the cameraman, and as they continue through the home, that becomes more apparent.
Allah! Abi bak buraya ne zaman girsek bu kapıyı üstümüze kapatmayın. Tut. Tövbe estağfurullah.
Upstairs, things start to get creepier.
Ne oluyor lan? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
With sounds coming from all around you, they grow nervous.
İfrit! Allah! Arkana bak. Allah!
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
There's something inside this thing.
Allah! Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oğlum.
And I wouldn't want it to get out, but maybe it's gotten out already.
Allah! Allah! Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lan baksana oraya. Abi sen niye kilitleniyorsun oğlum?
That was a hand waving from the beyond. Is it the hand of the devil? These guys think so, and it's not going to let them leave.
Abi gidiyorum peşimden gel.
Koş. Koş koş. Var mı bir şey?
Abi bir şey yok. Tuvalete de bakıyorum.
Would you expect mercy at the hands of the devil?
Abi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Şurayı aç.
Me neither. That's why I'd get out while I still can, if that's even an option at this point. Number 7. Sometimes ghost hunters become the hunted. Published by Yoon Sai-won in April of 2021. That's what happened to this Korean ghost hunter on one of his most recent investigations. Upon entering the haunted locale, he hears a strange noise.
안녕하세요.
It could be a dog barking in the distance, but who knows? Whatever it is, he has a bad feeling.
이 불길한 기운이?
And that feeling grows when the EMF meter reacts strongly, despite there being no electricity in the place. Using facial recognition software, faces also start to appear around the abandoned place. And they're getting closer by the second. Later, as the ghost hunter is using a spirit box, he hears a loud bump in the night. And then again as he continues his search. Is Yoon Sai-won being stalked? It may be best to call off this ghost hunt. Posted by Cosmic Messenger 01, this video teaches you that what's ever lurking in the shadows isn't what you should fear. The shadows themselves are. Taken at the Campo Grande MS Penitentiary in Brazil, the grainy footage shows a dark gray barracks, appearing empty at night, although it's likely not empty, as clothes hang on wires out of each of the windows. Now watch on the bottom floor as something appears to be moving on the side of one wall. The shadow person begins to move upward before moving sideways and appearing to duck down behind some clothing. You can see the shadow duck out again, moving in an amoeba-like style towards the wall and upward, before the shadow disappears out of sight. What is going on here? Is there a prison ghost here? Whatever it is, I don't want to find out. If you hear this sound, run for cover. Rays of light shine upward in this video, published to Paranormal World in December of 2020. But that's not the only oddity in this clip. Turn the sound on full volume and you'll be blasted into the midst of a prehistoric jungle. The light then turns into what looks to be a winged figure, and the sound becomes more symphonic. The creature forms a sphere before its wings reappear, perhaps preparing for takeoff. The man filming takes this as his cue to leave, but judging with a creature like this, he can run but he can't hide. A man named Donald Jester uploaded this ghost video from 2003. Nothing is by this table, and then for an instant there appears to be what Donald refers to as a ghost girl. I don't necessarily agree that there is enough detail to tell if this was a ghost or not, let alone if it was a girl, but there is something there. Since this video was taken in December and the front door is open, I guess it could be cold enough to be someone's breath or something else from outside. A YouTuber named Crossover likes to play basketball, but we all know that's not why he's on this list. He lives in a house on the edge of some woods that are known to be haunted, at least if you believe what's about to happen to him next. Crossover goes inside of his dad's workshop to talk more about his plans for the channel.
You know, I have had channels in the past, but you know, I kind of stopped doing that. They were a little bit weird, and I don't even know what.
And behind him. One of his dad's tools rolls off the shelf. Crossover wonders how the object moves all by itself.
Get over here.
And a scary voice tells Crossover to come back as soon as he goes off camera. He thinks this is a ghost EVP because he says he was in the workshop alone. However, the voice could have been edited and someone could have been hiding under the shelf to make the object look like it was pushed by a ghost. Perks is exploring an old, overgrown estate that's rumored to have a long history full of bad events and cursed memories. The manor itself seems to be in early stages of decay, and judging by these mattresses in the living room, looks to have been taken over by strangers. The house is definitely creepy, but nothing really feels out of place until Perks heads down into the basement. He can't quite explain how he knows it, but he can sense an evil presence down here, something that has not been disturbed in a long time. That's when he finds it lying in the corner of an especially unwelcoming part of the basement. If an expert could please verify, we could solve a potentially horrifying scene. A motorcyclist named Motor 2 Wrist is biking through India when he misses his turn and gets lost. Now it's threatening to rain and his bike's narrow high beams are his only source of light. Motor 2 Wrist is already close to losing his composure when he sees something that pushes him completely over the edge. Some stranger rushes at him from the side of the road. Keep in mind that it's 10 at night and there's apparently no villages around for miles. The pedestrian would have to be out of their mind to travel down a dark road in bad weather without so much as a flashlight to guide their way. Moto 2 Wrist is positive that he's seen a ghost and quickly speeds off, though it might have been someone in distress. We'll never know what the situation was for sure, but I'd like to get your opinion nonetheless. Old tunnels are full of history, and often that history is fearful. Published to YouTube by IKS Exploration in March of 2017. This clip explores the abandoned Dover tunnels. According to the channel, this is one of the many tunnels bored into the ground to allow fresh spring water through without upsetting the ground above. Me and Chris don't feel good in this location. Strange sounds and hums can be heard. He also claims to have heard a voice that sounded like that of a girl. Wear your headphones to hear what they hear.
Just a...
As the pair wander through the impressive tunnels, they appear indefinite. Will the explorers make it out of here alive, or be left wandering this labyrinth for eternity? As noted, the tunnels have cracks in the linings, making them particularly dangerous. Today they are locked down and inaccessible to the public. Probably a good thing. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Odd Entertainment 279. The Redditor titled this post, Croaky Ghost Sound, and they went on to include some more backstory in the comments, writing, I was at this weird abandoned BBC receiving station that closed in the 70s. Watch this back just now. This sound was in the video. Took this just 2 days ago. Well, let's have a listen. Did you hear it? If so, what do you think it is? More than one person in the comments thinks it's a frog, but I can't say I have enough frog knowledge to agree or disagree. Do you think this is the case? Or are you siding with the OP, who thinks he's captured a ghost sound on camera outside this abandoned building? The ancient Ram Inn in the UK is notoriously haunted. YouTube team Lost Souls Paranormal Dorset has come to test its reputation, and they don't leave empty-handed. The spirits quickly show they mean business.
What the You got scratches on your arm.
In one of the rooms, the team hears walking and singing.
Anyone in this room, can you let us know, please? I saw a man talking. Yeah, so did I, and I can...
Multiple cat balls go off at once, and the team is given a name.
No, I feel safe over here. I don't know what I'm... Oh, the cat ball's going off.
And it wasn't you walking because all three of them would have gone off.
Is that you? Is that the lady? Josie. Josie, just got the name Josie, honest.
Is Josie here? We'll soon know for sure. The team believes they've captured her figure in the mirror. Do you think this is a phantom reflection? I do see a face and an eye, but I could be imagining things. All this evidence, however, does seem promising. I've got a challenge. This footage comes from Vietnam, where all sorts of strange creatures are rumored to still roam free through the wild and unconquered forests. This stuffed humanoid in particular has been deceased for quite some time, possibly for decades, and now looks discolored and slowly falling apart. It appears to be half man, half snake. Long blonde hair grows from its human-like head, which is furry all over yet also covered in straw blonde facial hair. Two rodent-like arms stick out from its fur-covered upper body. Its face looks like a cross between a man and an ape. The nose looks like it belongs to a primate, but the gray lifeless eyes and smirking mouth look like they could belong to a person. Its scaly lower half looks exactly like a snake's. Watching this thing in action must have been a terrible and shocking sight. How such a creature could come to be is unexplainable, yet here it is. Perhaps there are even more of them out in the wild. Catholics honor the departed on November 2nd with All Souls Day, praying for the souls of their departed family and friends, often with visits to the graveyard. But what happens when the soul hasn't crossed over? Published by Own Vlogs, these paranormal investigators visited a haunted graveyard in order to answer that question. As the crew wanders around the cemetery's open graves, they suddenly see this vague pale figure in the distance. After glancing over several times at the figure, the men get too scared by its stillness and start running off.
कुछ चीज है तो वो हावी होने की कोशिश कर रही है पर ये क्या खड़े हो जाओ निकलो यहाँ से स्पीड से थोड़ा सा ये क्या है
Gathering some courage, they turn and look back. The figure is still there. They run off again and straight out of the cemetery. Was this a soul that hadn't yet crossed over? Or just a graveyard statue? In any event, this is one scary video that went horribly wrong.
रास्ते में खड़ी है ये जो भी है रास्ते में है अरे भाई इधर से निकल भाई इधर
This short clip was taken at an unidentified prison that is most likely abandoned. This is an actual creature coming out of the darkness, or are the shadows just playing tricks on you? I will say that there are signs of editing. The dust is swirling a lot faster than normal, which makes me believe that this footage was sped up. It could have been a normal person dressed in all black, quietly walking up and then backing away, which would look very paranormal when sped up like that. Maybe the video was sped up for some other reason and is in fact real. Come Out and Play, posted in January of 2014. This poltergeist knows how to have fun. A group of friends are hanging out along a city river at night. As the cameraman scans the area, one of the girls spots it first, a swing swaying back and forth rather forcefully on its own. The night is still, the wind's barely moving the leaves in the trees, and yet this swing is moving with energy. As Lex Cotton writes in the comments, the thing is moving too fast to be pulled by strings or the wind. Who then is moving it? And do you want to play? I sure wouldn't, because it looks like this is the work of a nefarious ghost. A YouTuber named Furious Otter is piloting his nosy drone across a long stretch of woods when he comes across a mysterious all-white object that doesn't match the native scenery. He grows curious and decides to take the drone closer to the ground to get a better look. It's a decision that he probably now regrets. It doesn't look like much at first, but the situation becomes much more clear after he zooms in. A witch-like figure appears to crouch low while watching the drone from the tree line. I can't tell if they are waving at them or brushing something out of their hair, but either way, this strange hermit just shouldn't be out here this deep in the woods. This video is terrifying if it's real, but a couple of things make me question its authenticity. I know drones can get a lot closer than that, so why didn't he try to get closer to see if they needed help instead of immediately flying away? I guess he could have been worried about losing his drone, or possibly even getting cursed, so he just got out of there fast instead. If that's the case, then I can't say I blame him. Let me know what you think you would have done if you were there. The abandoned boys are exploring a haunted forest where some scary things are said to lurk late at night. They reach a mysterious clearing, and while searching through the tall grass, they somehow miss a figure in blue robes, standing right in front of the camera at 12 seconds. 14 seconds later, the same figure has somehow teleported and now stares them down. In this alleged witch sighting caught on camera in the woods, a woman is hunched over and appears to have her robes pulled over her head. She moves slowly, and assuming this is real and not one of their friends, no doubt has a curse or two waiting for them upon her touch. Her very image itself might be cursed, and could explain why the video has lost most of its quality. Jails offer no privacy, and a lot of them have CCTV equipment in nearly every corner. This video of an empty cell seems ordinary enough until a shadow materializes out of nowhere. The restless spirit briefly paces in a circle and then goes to the far corner. It seems to step onto the toilet and then jumps out of sight. If this is not CGI, then it could be a spirit reenacting the final moments before taking its own life with a rope or something similar. This is sadly a common practice in jail and can be done with anything from shoelaces to a tied up shirt. Maybe a desperate inmate once tied something around their neck to the bars above and jumped off the toilet. They were obviously trying to escape their punishment, but now it looks like they doomed themselves here for all eternity. An invisible force has taken this man by the scruff of his neck, published in December of 2019. At the beginning of the video, the cameraman and another man off screen are yelling at each other. At a distance, a short figure in white appears to be standing in a dark doorway. Its features are indistinguishable. The two continue yelling at each other until the cameraman turns around and starts running away from the figure in the doorway. As he does, the friend who was yelling is captured on camera holding a flashlight, but suddenly he is thrown to the ground, and as if a mysterious invisible force is acting upon him, the man is dragged away. The cameraman runs toward him to help, and it appears as if he is thrown to the ground too. Mayhem ensues as they both try to fight it off. They finally manage to break away and they start hurrying off, but the cameraman doesn't get far. He is thrown to the ground and dragged again through the ice and snow. He struggles with the force before being pulled, this time into a room. He manages to escape and run away, and when he turns to look back, there's a small figure in the doorway again. What is this force? Where was it taking him? He'd better leave now, or it might just get him this time. This intriguing footage was captured on a dash cam at around 7 p.m. Watch closely. As the car turns around, keep your eye on the front of the white van up ahead. Do you see that dark figure move behind it? Now watch the second floor stairway window as the driver pulls forward. something is clearly peeking out at him, the shadow figure disappears as the car reverses, and you don't see it again. The strangest part was that during this camera freeze in the beginning, the YouTuber says he caught a glimpse of the shadow speed toward the stairway. This is actually what led him to check his camera footage. Is the shadow figure in both spots the same lurking entity? I think it just might be, and this shadow seems to move at the speed of light. One of the last things you'd wish to stumble across on an urban exploration is a coffin. YouTube team Review de Terre 2.0 shares this video of their chilling discovery on an exploration of an abandoned building. As they wander, mysterious things happen.
Oh, t'es sur tout seul. Ta mère quoi? Voilà, c'est tout. Non. Voilà, je l'ai pas touché. Quoi? Arrête.
Is someone in the building with them? Then they come across this creepy but amazing bit of sculpture outside.
J'ai vu de gros yeux, j'allais mes balles.
Wesh. Je croyais que c'était notre cerveau, je jouais des trucs. Wesh, c'est le crâne à l'amour dans Dofus.
It becomes clear that something is watching them, and shortly after, it becomes even clearer. It turns out to be a friend, so there's one mystery solved, but this is perhaps their most startling discovery.
Wow, il y a encore la tête cachée là.
I'm not sure if that's a coffin, but it's hard telling what it could be otherwise. I know I wouldn't want to try it on for size. Number 2. Security cameras often catch those creatures that we'd rather know nothing about. This is one of them. This video took place in Southern California. The uploader writes, "This thing fell through the wood under the eave of my house and struggled for 3 hours until it fell." The vid starts where it happened in the daytime and then goes to the event. The uploader adds that whatever the creature is came out at the top right near the vent, and it happened between midnight and 3:30 in the morning. The footage shows what appeared to be a tentacle-like object, which appears and then disappears several times. The pointy end of it starts wiggling, and it stretches out as if it's trying to reach the vent, while the other end still attached to the wall. It does finally manage to acrobat over and get its head up in there. Then before you know it, it's squirming up into the vent, its tail waggling all over the place. It's then seen wrapping around a nearby pole before it climbs down the wall. Last seen on the ground at 3:30 in the morning. Looks like an acrobatic snake to me. Whatever the creature is, it's sure to keep you up at night. This window washer is apparently unconcerned with keeping his life, let alone his job. The brazen worker sees nothing wrong with standing on a ledge that's so narrow. He has to spread his feet outwards just to keep any semblance of traction. And of course, the only way to wash the window in this position is to fully shut it. Notice how there's no safety harness or any other equipment for that matter. If he loses his balance now, the only way to fall is straight down. Meanwhile, he has to rely on a spotter to open the window from the inside to let him back in. And when it's finally time to open the window, he has to wedge his arms in the frame and hold one of the most awkward positions I've ever seen. The cameraman, who is panicking for him, pans down to the ground to show that this video is not a joke. This is a drop he absolutely would not survive. This huge wall of security monitors shows that everything in this building is silent and still, except for a single sign going haywire. I've seen signs twisting around from the air conditioning before, but this looks a little different. The back and forth swaying seems very deliberate, almost as if an invisible force is hanging off of it. I don't have much more information about this video, aside from it taking place somewhere in Singapore. Let me know what you think of it. This crab fisherman caught more than he bargained for. Published by Casey's Spotlight. Believe it or not, this is a real thing that's swimming in the waters of our oceans. Known as a wolf eel, this super creepy species dwells in the North Pacific. With a tail that stretches some 8 feet, wolf eels often wrap themselves up into caves, launching out with their wolfish heads to snatch prey, usually shellfish, urchins, and crabs. With crabs crawling in the cage alongside him, this particular wolf eel appears to be mid-meal, as there's something large in its mouth. The fishermen pull the object out of the eel's mouth. What do you think of this creepy creature? My advice? Steer clear of taking an icy dip in the North Atlantic. Don't look out the window. Published in November of 2011 by Mr. Jocko van Heerden. A group of friends just hanging out has one more hanger-on than expected in this scary video filmed in Johannesburg, South Africa. The young people are just chilling in a bedroom when something catches their eye. Turning toward the sliding glass door, an enormous pale creature is standing outside their window watching.
Posição baixa. It's a sink.
The creepy creature's features are vague, and at first it's not hard to tell if what's there is actually a living figure or not, but then it very clearly moves. Someone in the room gasps as the enormous figure lurks out of sight.
It's a sink.
What is this thing? Is it supernatural or extraterrestrial? And why is it watching them? I don't think I'd feel safe in that house ever again after this. This Aztec wind instrument has been terrifying people for hundreds of years, and you're about to be next. The noise is supposed to replicate your final screams and is even said to haunt your dreams. Listen to this and tell me how stressed out it makes you, if at all. Here it is again, this time in a professional recording studio to get the full effect. I definitely can hear how this sounds like someone screaming for their life. Can you? According to the YouTube team, Paranormal Boys, one of the most terrifying things they've ever heard on an investigation is this horrible hiss. Listen closely.
It's not even there, but it sounds like it's What the is that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Did you hear it? Listen again. It sounds like a hissing breath to me. And whoever is filming can hear it in the moment, which makes me wonder what is in that room with them. Obviously, nothing of this world. Dennis of Dark Ghost Paranormal is at his breaking point in this scary video. Published in March of 2022, Dennis encounters the most terrible demon in this haunted abode. Dennis conducts an EGF session with a horned skull facing a mirror. It tells him, "You let him out." After asking what he should do, the skull requests a ritual. He's told to burn it and take it to the swamp. Otherwise, the demon will follow him. He is also told that the demon is here. Dennis creeps around the house searching. He doesn't need to look far. Dennis is later dragged across the room by his heel. After regaining his feet, he calmly takes in the entire disaster zone. Then an object under a big draping robe moves toward him. Is this the demon? He'd better get to that ritual. I have a feeling there is worse to come. A forest and nighttime is a terrible combination. That's what these men find when they set out into the area jungle in the darkness. Facebook user Kaiser Sharam shared this video of a peaceful walk through the moonlit forest. Just kidding, this is anything but peaceful. A couple minutes into the footage, a man points out something lurking amongst the trees, similar to another entry in this list. It appears like a woman with long black hair dressed in white. They keep their distance, only pointing out the figure to the camera. Later, they follow her into an abandoned building. Her long hair disappears around a corner. When they turn the corner, she's vanished. They search through the dark building, but don't cross paths with her again. That is, until they enter the dark and expansive forest. They spot a strange figure. It's not the woman, but appears to be something wrapped in a white sheet. When the man approaches to peer inside, the thing moves. What is it? Could it be some sort of ceremonial figure left to these men by the dark-haired witch? Whatever it is, it bows to the man again as he probes it and then walks away. What do you think this might be? What's inside? I don't think I would unwrap this gift. Ryan Prunty is certain their estate is haunted after this creepy experience in their attic happened. Let's take a look at what he and his friend caught on tape and see if it's really paranormal.
Stub, I think it's all good up here, dude. We're gonna explore a little further. No! No. Bro, it's locked. Funny, Bailey. I'm not. Open the door, Bailey. Bailey, open the door. Look. What is that?
It doesn't look like the door got stuck by itself. At 11 minutes and 34 seconds, the locking mechanism has been turned into a horizontal locked position. Someone, either a ghost or one of their roommates, must have been on the other side. They force open the door, and less than a minute later, this mysterious orb guides them to another weird event. No one else is home, and yet they see wet footprints outside of the shower that lead to nowhere. Maybe one of them showered and left, but I think most people would pick up the towel first. It's a creepy video, but all of these ghostly encounters would be easy to fake with the help of a third person. So I'm wondering if that's exactly what they did. What would you do if the ghost that's haunting your house doesn't want to share it with you? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. This Redditor writes, "Threw this edit together of me being haunted and I'm terrified." In the beginning of the clip, Mossy asks the spirit if he can please enter his room, and the door swings closed. We'll take that as a no. He hurries to open it and reveals that there's no one behind it or inside, as he mentions that his fan is turned off on its own. The fan flings itself from the table beside his bed. Lastly, he turns on his piano keyboard and asks the spirit to play a song. The spirit obliges, pressing a few random keys. Is this a harmless haunting, or is something more evil at play? Redditor Bestia Hermosa advises that the Redditor sweep everything out of this house. She writes, "When you come back into your home, close the door behind you without looking back. Outside your door, in order to have any bad juju stay out, and no unwelcoming entities in your home." We hope Bestia's advice works. This spirit doesn't seem like he's interested in welcoming the living. When dealing with ghosts, paranormal investigators should take care not to bring something home with them. YouTuber Chris L. Luna has, and now she isn't sure how to get rid of it.
Ahorita que estaba aquí sentada, trabajando, vuelvo a escuchar ruidos muy extraños detrás de mí cuando no hay absolutamente nadie.
She explains that she's been ignoring the noises she hears in her home, but at the moment, she's heard many behind her, and there's no one home but her. After showing viewers her empty house, she hears this. The growl sounds like it's very near, like right next to her. I think this would be the end of the paranormal investigation for me. Once you bring an attachment like this home, the love for your job has gotta fade. Number 11. You might want to avoid this forest because it's apparently home to brain-hungry zombies. Published by Addie Ant in October of 2021. A man appears completely lost in the thick foliage of a forest at night. As he's walking, a terrifying noise is heard. He continues, periodically calling out to whatever awaits him in the dense trees.
Hello? Nang? Oi! Sorry!
That's when he sees this.
Hey!
Something lying in the dirt crawls out, obviously to feast upon his brains. The man turns around and races out of the forest in fear. At one point, he is knocked to the ground. He looks around, whimpering in the darkness, but doesn't see anything around him. Did the zombie give up, or is he on the verge of an ambush? What if we are living in a simulation? Cross-posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the cross-poster suggests that this is visual proof that the universe is updating now. The video footage shows a spinning wheel of light in the sky, the type you see on your computer screen when the system is buffering. The wheel is seen at a distance and then close up. The short clip offers no explanation, leaving Redditors to reach the most extreme conclusions. Maybe they're just looking to get some of that McDonald's. Some videos have the power to keep us up all night long. As we're drifting off to sleep, they enter into our subconscious, making us sit bolt upright. The fear is real. The fright. This was posted to Reddit with the uploader writing, "My friend is security at the airport, and he saw this through the security cameras." The video shows an American Airlines desk with what appears to be a service door beside it. The airport looks empty. Perhaps the security footage was taken during closing hours. But if it's empty, what makes the door do this? The door swings open aggressively, with no one behind it. These types of doors are usually heavy and secure, and as Astral Cath explains in the comments, are often locked or require a manual code to open, so it's unclear how wind or something natural might have burst the door open like this. So what could it be? Theories in the comments range from a ghost running late for a flight to unequal air pressure. Redditor Steve MageGod points out that there's a slight shadow change before the door flings open. So as usually happens, we've got those who think this is paranormal activity on one side, and the skeptics who suggest this could be readily explained on the other. Which side are you on? Will fish soon walk on land? It looks like one's already there. Published to the oddly terrifying subreddit, Redditor Big Black Onyx writes the cryptic message, "They are evolving." The mysterious video shows a large fish on a slab of snowy ice jutting into the water. The oddly terrifying fish appears to be standing up on its fins, taking in great gulps of air. Many have reacted to the walking fish, which has become the subject of numerous memes, originally appearing in iFunny, posted by user Saika Gamberger in December of 2019. The video has been viewed, liked, and tweeted millions of times, and that's perhaps due to its unnerving nature. Redditor Sci-Fi Ship Controller remarks, "Not sure what is more unsettling, that it stands or that it breathes." A YouTuber named Connor Does Adventure goes exploring a sewer tunnel that's been abandoned in the middle of the desert. They're kind of nervous but also in the mood to see something crazy. Little do they know what horrors are about to get caught on camera. It's a long walk to get to the old pipe, and they keep stopping because they think they hear something.
It's funny. Know why you're scaring us.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay, it's not funny.
That sounds like it could be a frog to me, but maybe not based on what they see next.
What? Dude. Oh. Okay. We're on. We gotta go.
An extra creepy creature slowly stands upright in a strange pose that looks vaguely human.
Dude, why would you steal me? We gotta go!
It chases them for a while on all fours, then marches straight towards them.
Okay, come on. He's coming. Dude, he's coming.
This is beyond creepy, but it's probably one of their friends in an outfit.
Do you think he can get past these gates right here? Oh yeah, dude, look, there's the entrance right there. That's how we... Oh shoot, ready, go! Oh my gosh!
After all, stopping a second time to turn around and record some more doesn't seem realistic. I think most people would be out of there and never look back. It's 3 a.m. and therefore time for two brothers to test their bravery down in the basement, which they are pretty sure is haunted. They spend about a minute down there and start hearing noises from the back of the room. The brothers quickly agree that this noise sounds like a single human footstep in the darkness, and I would have to concur.
Yo, do you see it?
Instead of running away, the two brothers decide to directly confront the creature, or spirit, or whatever it is that's down there with them, and the timing of its reply shows that it understands them completely.
If there's anyone here with us, please make a sign. Get out.
The two brothers were hoping to last the night, but they hardly make it down there 5 minutes. Every sound they hear comes closer than the one before, until this final sound comes from directly behind them as they leave.
I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, but I'm scared. Oh my, okay, alright, bye guys.
You can see the younger brother is right next to him, and he doesn't do anything to cause the sound. So unless there's a third person with them, I think this video is absolutely real. Some sad souls are still locked up in Old Williams County Jail. YouTube team Ghost Bros teams up with spirit stalkers to investigate the abandoned jail in Bryan, Ohio. In the interrogation room, the team uses a spirit box to interrogate the spirits. A little later, the spirits show that they are watching them.
Six, yeah. 6 what? There's 6 of us.
Then this alarming exchange occurs.
We're gonna go to the gear room. Come on!
No, I heard Armand, dude.
How do you know his name?
I introduced myself.
What he said? He said he said it. I said, how do you know his name? It's like he said it. It said he said it, dude. Yeah.
A recording device also captures some welcoming voices.
Whoa, what the f*** was that? Whoa. So come here. I said, come here.
The K2 lights up upon request.
You're here with me. Can you light this up again?
During an S-Days session, the spirit starts playing around with them.
Can you tell us your name or one of our names? Let us know you're listening to us.
It just said my name. Jake.
Can you please, at some point throughout the night,
scream?
No!
It even seems to be directly ordering them around.
Guys, the cell. Come. I just said take it or Jacob. Jake. It just said Jake right after this.
Dude, that's intelligent. It's saying right now he's telling me that.
Yeah. Look at me. We hunt.
Even after passing, those who are locked up here hunt us. Can you feel the evil on you? Because I can. Number 20. A YouTuber named Connor Does Adventure returns to a creepy tunnel he visited in 2016, an eerie location where he once had a mysterious creature sighting that went viral and left all of his friends shook. Now he wants to return years later to see if the mysterious creature still haunts this tunnel. Everyone is too nervous to look into the darkness for long, so they quickly shine their light down the rest of the way, and crouched in the dark tunnel is this mysterious and strange figure lying in wait. This could be a rake sighting caught on camera because the mysterious creature is crouched down in a way that I've seen in other rake sighting videos, or it could just be one of their friends in a full bodysuit or something. I think this could be real because they never went back to look for a third time, rightfully fearing for their very lives. A few days ago, strange sounds started coming from an old shower stall in this house that Alejandro has not used in years. He wasn't sure if it was rats or something, so he went up there with a camera, and this scary sighting is what's been caught on video. "20 seconds after showing us nothing was in the shower, this ghostly figure presses against the glass, flies upwards, and disappears. This almost has to be CGI because there are absolutely no editing cuts, and the way they fade away doesn't look like somebody simply stepping away from the glass. He reinvestigates and the shower is just as empty as before." A YouTuber named Richard205Maria believes that some kind of advanced life form is following his every move, so he sets up surveillance equipment around his house. He finds this strange creature flying around his yard at around 6 in the morning shortly thereafter. The glowing all-white apparition looks relatively small and is so fast that the camera has a hard time capturing any details. We can vaguely see 4 humanoid limbs and perhaps a set of wings as well, though it's hard to tell for sure. It appears to fly headfirst with its arms stiffly sat at its sides, a strange characteristic for almost any creature of flight on this planet. I think there's a strong possibility that this could be CGI, but I can't eliminate the possibility of an insect, a reflection of light, or even otherworldly contact. I encourage you to watch the other videos on Richard's channel and tell me if you think he has an extraterrestrial following him or not.
Watch how this ghost is working out. It's moving by itself, just like somebody's sitting there.
This outdoor workout station is moving all by itself, or so it seems. I think someone could be moving it with wires off camera. At the beginning, he shows this zoomed in shot, but it's vertical, so there's plenty we can't see. I'm not saying this video isn't real. I'm just saying I would be more convinced if he showed the entire street to prove that no one else was around. While in this abandoned house, YouTube team Nerve Paranormal witnesses the paranormal, and the spirits here want to play ball. Watch the blue ball in the bottom left corner.
Yes, Uдар, слышу, да?
As they're listening back to a recording, Tim hears something in the darkness. I can definitely hear something moving. It sounds like it's coming from another room. When they later investigate, they hear footsteps behind them. And a light swings overhead. Later, as they're trying to connect with the spirits at the bottom of the stairs, something is thrown at them. Dennis and Tim want answers, but it seems to me like the ghosts just want to play. Would you play with them? I think I'd pass. Home to the so-called Black Monk, 30 East Drive is one of the most haunted places in the United Kingdom. YouTube team The Ouija Brothers are here to investigate, or at least do a sleep study. As they're asleep in one of the rooms, a noise is heard. And later the noise again, and this time watch the chest of the man in the bed. It looks like someone pressed down on his chest. The YouTubers say that this is the only time this movement happens in over 2 hours of footage. Later, while wandering the house, they hear a very loud, unexplained sound.
And then I'm standing in here and it felt like it was in my face.
What was that?
I had that very.
Did you hear how loud that bang was?
Here it is again from another camera.
And then I'm standing in here and it felt like it was in my face.
What was that?
The banging is heard throughout the house.
Most incredible. What a problem. What was that? Almost. Hello? Stay!
I don't need more convincing. This place is clearly full of terror, and it seems to love to wreak havoc. Number 2, a YouTuber called Douglas Cash stands at the entrance of these caves in the Bahamas. The stunning scenery grows less colorful and more claustrophobic as he takes a few hesitant steps inside. Soon he finds himself staring down a tunnel that looks barely large enough to support a human when a wild shriek fills his ears. Listen to this and tell me what it could possibly be, animal or otherwise.
Boy, you know I ain't going down yet, right?
Whatever it is, it sounds about medium-sized, but vicious enough to tear your throat out if given the chance. Even Douglas doesn't seem to recognize the menacing noise and decides not to go any deeper. But since he did come all the way out to this area by foot to do some exploring, he decides to hang around the cave entrance for just a bit longer. After all, it's brighter here, and he doubts whatever he heard is going to come out of the darkness. He explores for another 2 minutes or so, studying the natural rock formations and whatnot, and then decides to call it a day. But unknown to him, looking back at him from the darkness are 2 glowing eyes that quickly disappear, and if you listen closely, you can hear some kind of chittering language that could indicate a certain level of intelligence. If you encounter a child spirit, be wary. Posted to Facebook by the most haunted places in Pakistan in August of 2019. This video is actually based in Thailand and surrounds the mythological spirit of Gongoi. The dark-haired sprite is said to be humanoid and child-sized. She hops around on one leg and screams out Gongoi, which is the source of her name. This video purportedly shows that creature at the edge of a Thai field in the darkness of night. You at first see the figure's dark hair as it's still and hunched over near the grass, but then it appears to become alert to the presence of others nearby as it stands up and starts hopping away on its single leg. If you're watching this video after 10 p.m., your nightmares will probably be populated by strange Dali-esque creatures like these. Hopefully they're not running towards you. YouTubers Lainey and Ben regularly document the paranormal activity in their uber haunted home. As they're taking questions from their subscribers, some of the activity happens right behind them.
Says, does it feel like a good or a bad spirit, and what energy does it give off? I think there's no threats.
Nah, like it's never touched us or hurt us, like, so I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think if anything it might be like a relative, because like it's not harmful to us, so it's not like.
First, they notice the paper towel roll.
Like it's never touched us or hurt us, like, so I don't.
Lainey seems to hear a move. She looks over her shoulder but doesn't quite catch it in action.
Like, so I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think if anything it might be like a relative.
Then the cupboard door pops open for a second.
To us, so it's not like bad in that.
Watching the camera, Lainey sees the activity behind her this time. I believe Lainey and Ben's home is haunted without question. They have a lot of evidence to back them. I just don't know how they can live with this. Security footage shows a man letting his guard down while inside a scary looking warehouse building. Big mistake. One of the chairs moves by itself and he stares at it, too terrified to react. That's when the chair scoots forward again, and then they all fall down, even his own. I can't explain what the mysterious dark figure in the background of this video could be. Hopefully it's not a shadow person silently watching from one floor above. While a DJ was closing a nightclub, he heard something bone-chilling. YouTuber Dark Moose shares this creepy video. Listen closely. You can hear a woman scream. She then starts shouting for help. Also captured in the video is a figure or figures walking past in the background.
Hearing this late at night is unsettling, that even people walking nearby feel unsafe and flee.
Some in the comments are wondering why the crew seems so chill while hearing this scream, and they don't seem to be in any rush to help. Others suggest that this is a common tactic to lure unsuspecting victims into being robbed, or worse, ending their life. I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but if there's any truth to the last suggestion, I'm now going to be paranoid whenever someone cries out for help. It sucks that we live in a world where we hesitate to come to someone's aid because it may be a trap, but unfortunately, that's the possibility. Number 20. This police cam footage was taken during a massive wildfire in Sonoma County, California in 2017. Officers are doing what they can to evacuate the public and restore order, but as this brief dashcam video shows, they were up against total chaos at the time.
I detached from the fire department and here it is back by actors. He said, here's unaware which way the fire is going. They had so many fires, they can't really keep track at this point, and they also cannot answer.
Listen closely and you'll even hear the dispatcher say that they can't tell which direction the fire is spreading and seems to be genuinely overwhelmed. I have to salute this officer and all of the other brave public officials who willingly charged into a massive blaze to try and help everyone. Even though this snake wasn't on a plane, Samuel L. Jackson would probably not appreciate its presence on this train platform. Tweeted by Triple G RTO, he writes, being a train operator for NYCT subway, I thought I have seen it all, but this can't be real. Oh, it's real alright. This feet-long snake, which has been identified as a non-venomous black eastern rat snake, was spotted on a subway platform in New York City on August 10th, 2020. The species can grow up to 7 feet and is native to the East Coast region, from Connecticut down to South Carolina and west to Kansas. It feeds on rodents, which may be why it's lurking in a New York subway station. As the enormous snake weaves slowly across the platform, a commuter stands not far off, waiting for her train's arrival. The MTA addressed the situation in a tweet writing, "This is a new one for us. They were investigating the matter and aren't aware how it got there, although the reptile doesn't appear to have an owner, so may have just been out for a midday stroll or slither. Still, I'm sure many New Yorkers wouldn't want to share the L train with this scaly passenger." This spirit must have a presentation coming up. Redditor ZJOSA shares this video, which they say happened to a close friend while working late.
Desde hace rato escuché que se estaban moviendo las cosas desde allá de la esquina. Mira. Desde hace rato estaba escuchando que se mueven. No mames.
The chair spins on its own. Many in the comments are skeptical and wonder why the woman started recording in the first place, but the Redditor has an answer for it.
Desde hace rato escuché que se estaban moviendo las cosas desde allá de la esquina. Mira. Desde hace rato estaba escuchando que se mueven las cosas, en serio. No mames.
Many others say her fearful reaction seems legit. I don't want to dismiss this too quickly because I agree that her reaction seems real. I'm going to reserve judgment on this one. Which side are you on here? Number 7. Got insomnia? This scary video won't help. Published by Little Genius in February of 2022. The following footage was captured while this poor soul was sleeping, or trying to. Slowly, the blankets are pulled down from the man's shoulders. He pulls them back up, but it happens again, and then a third time. But this doesn't seem to get the sleeping man's attention. A water bottle balanced on his headboard falls onto the bed. He replaces it and continues to sleep, but the bottle soon wobbles to the side and falls again. Next, a chair with a teddy bear slides forward on its own. Moments later, it scoots forward even more. It then tips backward, falling onto the floor and finally waking the man up. What entity is interfering with this guy's sleep? Whoever it is, it succeeded. This man will never sleep again. This video was published to YouTube in July of 2007 with the title, "Dragon was caught sight of by infrared rays." This video appears to show the ghostly smoky figure of a long creature fly through the air, from the top to the bottom of the frame. Modern scholars suggest that crocodiles might be the closest to resemble a dragon, and maybe what informed its imagery. Or maybe this creature is something else completely, and just somewhat resembles a dragon. Nothing else like this has been caught on the security camera since. Jonathan FOD and his friends go exploring an abandoned meat processing facility building that everyone in town says is haunted, but the air quotes around ghost seems to mean he doesn't quite believe it.
So supposedly, there's a ghost that roams around here.
Soon he will.
Oh shit.
That.
Hey!
I've heard that. Who's there?
As Jonathan FOD and his two friends are ghost hunting in some kind of tool shed, they get what they think could be some paranormal evidence caught on tape.
What the? Bro, y'all heard that, bro? What the that? Bro.
Is anybody there?
Oh.
All three of them are on camera when these noises happen. You can see they are just standing there with their hands down, so it can't be them. Maybe Jonathan had a fourth person making all of that noise, but I don't see how they could have faked that ghost EVP at 8 minutes and 50 seconds. It really does sound like the muffled voice of a small child.
What is that? Bro, y'all heard that, bro? What the that?
Two people are heading down the road when a third person looks right at them and steps in their path. Watch this part and you can see that he clearly waits for them to get close and does this on purpose.
Are you kidding me?
But here's where things get really strange. According to the uploader, when he turned around, the man was completely gone. He called the police and they had no luck finding him either. Could this have been a spirit doomed to repeat its last moments on Earth? A YouTuber named Shondurez decides to go ghost investigating with his friends at their studio office, which is apparently haunted. They meet up at 2 a.m. and are talking about what they should do next, when something in the next room over wrecks their plans.
What actually was that?
Approximately 10 seconds later, this sound fills the building. Listen to it and tell me if you think it's real or edited.
Wait, shh. Legit.
By now they are pretty much freaking out and ready to take off, but the spirit isn't quite through with them yet. You'll see absolutely nobody was nearby when this happens, which makes me think it could be real. All of the lights shut off before they get a chance to leave. One of them turns the camera light on just in time to see their friend blankly staring at them from the ground. I guess he could just be acting, and one of his friends pulled him by his feet, but that still doesn't explain this actual ghost sighting at the very end.
Go! Dude. See through 212.
I think this could be real because the raw adrenaline sends his friend barreling straight through a door.
Freaking myself out. Go away.
A Reddit poster named Drexana13 catches an invisible watcher using nothing other than the face detection software of her Snapchat filter. She says she could feel someone breathing on her, and this does seem likely because more than once, the spirit gets as close as it can to her. And is practically right on top of her as she backs into the elevator.
No. I think I'm panicking.
But is it really a teleporting apparition? Or is Snapchat mistaking the dark circular areas between these lights as eyes? I think it's up for debate, but this Redditor seems to have made up her mind. Oh, and one last thing. It may have climbed into the elevator with her. There's a white light here that might be the reflection of her phone screen, but the movements don't quite match. So what do you think it is? After buying a cool LED hat for his daughter, this father took a short video to capture its glow, but he also managed to capture something mysterious in the background. Shared to TikTok by TikTok Paranormal. Watch the back haul behind the baby. A small, dark, shadowy creature makes a mad dash past the doorway. What is this thing? It doesn't look human, and yet it doesn't look animal either. It appears to be running in a human-like way, so my best guess would be a goblin or elf of some kind. What do you think is going on here? Officially shuttered since 1987, it was just announced in February that this century-old building will soon be demolished. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Ryan McCullister and originally published to a YouTube channel of the same name. This paranormal team is making one last visit to the old Three Rivers Hospital in Michigan. As they make their way through a doorway, a creepy baby voice is heard in the background.
Hey, blue jeans. Yeah, nah.
That smiley face down there.
That's creepy.
So I can see it. There you go.
Hey, look at all how dirty the air is out there.
Many in the comments think it's not a baby but a cat. Others think it sounds like the lens focusing. But several Redditors agree that it sounds like a baby. Sparkling Duckling writes, those smiling graffiti faces. Artists tried to stop the ghost baby from crying, unsuccessfully. I think the biggest question now is what's going to happen to all these spirits after this building is demolished. A Russian YouTuber named Thickfoss decides to feed a bear a late-night fish snack through his window. There's only one problem. Supplies are limited, and the bear seems to want to help itself to everything at once. Multiple times it has to be reminded to mind its manners, and at 24 seconds you can see for yourself that I'm not exaggerating when I say its paw is the size of your head, with long black claws the size of your whole finger. Feeding time becomes less fun when you realize the only way to close this window is by reaching out into the darkness past the hungry bear's mouth to grab this latch. They wait until it walks away satisfied before closing the window. Thankfully, it didn't try to get in this time, but bears have a long memory, and surely it will be back when it's hungry. Perhaps next time for them if no fish is available. Dennis from YouTube channel Dark Ghost Paranormal is tracking some ghosts in an abandoned house, and it quickly goes sideways. Something is banging in this hallway. He gets closer to the refrigerator. Is something inside? More sounds throw Dennis off track. What was that? A second Steadicam may have captured what was causing this noise from another angle. Did you see that? Watch again closely. A shadow figure flees down the hallway. To me, it seems more like it escaped the fridge and moved off to make noise elsewhere. Where did it go, though? Better not follow. I think Dennis is not safe here. What is this monster? Demon, werewolf, zombie? This YouTube team is on the hunt to find out, but in the process, they become the hunted. The monster jumps out at them from the wilderness.
Mano, que é isso aqui, cara? Aqui, ó. Sai dessa cara, tá vindo. O que você tá tirando, mano? Socorro, cara! Ele pegou eu!
They flee, but one of the team is soon grabbed. They somehow manage to get away again, but not for long. After battling with the monster, they flee once more. That's when they come across this ritual site.
Opa, ó, isso, mano. Ei, cara, eu juro que eu ouvi sair som desse negócio aqui, mano.
They examine the pentagram.
Cara.
But as they do, one of the crew is nearly pulled backward through a window, and moments later, the animal's skull is on fire.
Foi isso, calma, o que foi isso, cara? Puxou aqui, na onde aqui? Foi isso, mano. Você viu? O negócio puxou, cara. O que foi, cara, que você viu aqui, mano? Tu puxou aí, velho. Foi assim, velho. Mano do céu, o que é aquilo ali?
As the skull blazes, a horned monster returns.
Ali, mano, de novo, mano. Olha lá, cara. Sai, cara. Sai. Puta, eu.
It's not clear if this is the same monster they encountered before, but it seems to me they are surrounded by a team of rogue mutants. Well, this is obviously CGI work. I'm still afraid that these creatures are going to haunt my dreams. Real Victoria is woken up by her cat hissing at something it sees in the bedroom window. The cat goes quiet when she starts recording, but it's definitely focused on some activity outside. She says this creepy looking character was looking in through her window, and he very well may have been, but at 4 seconds he also seems to be looking up and trying to get the attention of someone in the room above him. In fact, I think I hear him shout something and whistle loudly at the beginning of this video. What is he saying here? Eventually, he steps away and out of sight. I guess he either saw the camera, or he finally got the attention of someone in the unit above. Whatever he was up to, having a complete stranger anywhere near where you live at 5 in the morning is oddly terrifying. With that said, I do believe her, and I hope Real Victoria stays safe until her lease is up and she can get out of there. An unknown creature sighting was caught on video by a girl from Boswell, Pennsylvania.
Who's there?
She's returning from a friend's house when this bizarre humanoid figure follows. When confronted at 1 minute and 37 seconds, it stretches into a shape later described as a large dog or a deer and runs away. It does look to be a mysterious, shape-shifting creature too small to be a person, at least from this perspective. This could be someone crouching down at an odd camera angle, or it could be the Pennsylvania creature known as the Boswell bush crawler. If only it were a few steps over in the light, we would have been able to better tell. A YouTuber named Ghost Robo is taking some questions from fans. They talk about everything from going back to school to Transformers, and then they take a quick break to make some minor adjustments.
Let's see.
The room cools off and the conversation picks up until a real-life jump scare leaves them wide-mouthed and pale.
Why not like watch the show or anything? But they're pretty cool.
Jake has a transform feet. That's amazing.
The lightning sounds so close that I seriously wonder if it struck the side of their house. Either way, it takes the three of them over 30 seconds to compose themselves and carry on. This highway footage comes from Britain and is about 10 years old. It looks like just another normal night until an unknown creature comes scampering across 4 lanes of traffic in less than 5 seconds. It almost looks like a deer or dog at first, but a closer look shows you that its legs bend inwards at an odd angle. Its front and back legs nearly touch as it runs, almost like a cheetah. But such an animal, of course, is impossible to see in a place like Britain. The YouTube community seems to be split on this one. Some people insist that it's CGI, but others say that the footage is authentic. Even when zoomed and slowed down, the monster appears to jump over the median at the right time and narrowly avoids getting hit by the car. No other cameras have managed to pick it up since, or if they did, then the footage was never released to the public. Are these paranormal explorers being trolled? Or is there something haunting this former asylum? Published by Exploring with Maximilian in April of 2021. While the team is exploring, they hear something press the out-of-tune keys of a distant piano.
No, I can't do the piano. It's not the piano. No. Stop.
It freaks them out and they're not sure what to do. They decide to go check it out and find the room empty, but while in the room, they hear another strange noise off screen. They conclude that there has to be someone in here, but they can't seem to find them.
What?
No, what was that? No, there must be someone in there, Sean. Like, this is distant.
He wouldn't do that.
Until, is somebody hiding in that curtain? Although they don't check the curtain, they still sense someone is here and they call out to them. After hearing yet another noise, they decide to leave. They never did see what or who was prowling around the abandoned asylum, but whatever it was chased them out of there with its trolling. I just wish we could know if it was a true haunting or just some strangers messing with the team. What is lurking in the mountains of Montana? Published by Smokey Robinson in September of 2021. He and his army buddy were outside Browning, Montana when they encountered this piece of work. What begins as a man starts to appear demonic. At the start of the clip, the figure is roaring unintelligibly.
Buddy! How you doing? Just cruisers, man.
He appears to be shirtless and wearing jeans. The figure then starts crawling half deranged on the ground toward them. It crawls up a hill. The closer it gets, the more inhuman it looks. Just as the demon man reaches the road, the two men drive off in their pickup. Commenters are saying this is 100% demonic, and this creature gives them goosebumps. Some say the figure's face distorted and its appendages stretched as it started to crawl. Drex Ferguson writes, "This is the video I send people when they ask me to go camping, hiking, basically anything that involves woods." Some are calling it a zombie. Some are saying it's a human being taken over by something. What do you think it is?
What's up, dude?
While entering a deep dark cave, these brave souls nearly left their skeletons behind. Good gravy, what is that? You can see the creature momentarily as they enter. But for some reason, this encounter doesn't send them running for the hills. And then, not long after, this happens. That hissing is somehow more terrifying than a deafening roar, and the figure's features are equally horrifying. The fact that they didn't leave on the first sighting of the creature makes me think this is fake, but as we only caught a glimpse on camera, maybe they just didn't see him in the darkness. If it is acted, then it's an incredible fake. This ghost wants to be a cameraman. YouTube team Dorset Ghost Mysteries captured this paranormal activity while on an overnight ghost hunt.
Thank you. Thank you for those words. Have you got any more words to tell us? What the heck happened there, Glenn? Glenn? Yeah.
What could possibly be messing with their camera like this? Are we seeing the haunted castle live up to its reputation? I think that's the case, but there's no way to be 100% sure without more evidence. But I do know one thing. What they've captured already is terrifyingly creepy. A small cluster of weird deep-sea creatures seem to be embedded inside a piece of coral that broke off and floated ashore. One of the creatures is still moving and seems to retreat from the camera upon getting sighted. I wonder what they look like out of their coral encasement. Probably even scarier. Anyway, no one has identified these unknown creatures in the comments, and the uploader of this video describes them only as weird creatures at the beach and leaves it at that. So let's help solve the mystery and figure out what these are. This Ukrainian dashcam captures one of the highest resolution highway ghost encounters I have ever seen. Watch this part and tell me what is being said here if possible. I would really like to have a legitimate translation of this potentially supernatural message.
What's this?
The driver speeds off after she falls back and disappears. It does not stop until they are back to civilization. This professional quality of this video makes me wonder if this is from a European movie or television show. If not, it almost looks like a well-constructed hologram. I could find no other source for this video, so be sure to let me know if this is amateur footage or something from mainstream media. Is this house haunted? Posted by YouTuber Ricky Velasquez. A security camera captured some jarring movement in the living room. Watch the sofa. After the sofa appears to be shoved by something unseen, the woman shouts at her partner in alarm. Let's see it again. The sofa is given a good push, but unfortunately the narrow view prevents us from seeing if there's anything off camera. Although her reaction seems genuinely disturbed, I can't say that this couldn't be faked. We're gonna need a few more cameras. Looks like zombies want to get out of bed every once in a while. Published to YouTube in October of 2011 by Underwater Ireland. This YouTuber sets out into a purportedly haunted graveyard in Ireland. The cemetery is innately creepy, with trees growing into steeple-like coverage as she enters. After exploring a bit, she sets up a camera to film overnight. What she manages to capture on film will send a chill down your spine. The gate opens in the middle of the night, no one is there. It doesn't appear to be windy. Then something flashes on the screen, it's hard to make out. As some in the comments point out, if you watch the clip in slow motion, you can see a ghostly demon face. It is quite clear if you manage to pause it at the right moment. Some say it looks like a skeletal hand, others a white orb spirit. What do you think it could be? Is this the zombie outbreak we've all been waiting for? Only one way to find out for sure. A flaming torch in the forest revealed this group was not alone. The uploader writes that these friends were having some drinks in the woods when two of the young women saw a mysterious creature watching them. In the clip, the group is enveloped in darkness. That is until one of them tosses a flaming torch toward a tree. It lights the brush at the base of the tree, and it also lights this creature hiding behind it. The extraterrestrial-looking figure is crouched low at the stump of the tree, but its large cranium and eyes briefly appear. You can see it back away for a moment behind the tree, and then as the camera moves in closer, its hands extend long, spindly fingers. What is watching them? It looks like something out of this world. Discovering a hidden room in your home always begs the question, what was it used for? Posted to TikTok by AbbyMaya14. This TikToker found an entire hidden basement in her storage cupboard. Well, it's not unusual for a home to have some sort of crawl space beneath it. This one is particularly creepy because it looks lived in. After tearing up the floor, the homeowner discovered wooden steps leading down to a full-on basement. Not only can you stand fully upright in this hidden subterranean room, it appears as though someone once called this space home. A poster is plastered to the wall and it looks as though it's been clawed to pieces. There are benches in one corner and what appears to be a hearth. So again, this begs the question, what was this room used for? Some in the comments of the video have speculated that this might be an air raid shelter. Others say perhaps someone was squatting down there. It's probably best to climb up out of there, cover it over with a rug, and throw away the key. Do you hear that? Published by Indra Saputra Official in April of 2022, someone is singing in this abandoned building. As Indra flashes his flashlight in the room, speaking to the voice, the sing-song continues for a moment, but then all is quiet.
Setelah gue gak bisa bro, aku gak main di center. Nah, katanya lama.
But then, when Indra tries to open the door, he can't get out. His camera light goes out and then starts flashing. As he turns around in the empty room, it's no longer empty. The light goes off again, and Indra is singing in the dark by himself for a time. The ghost girl is gone. What frights does this place hold? A demon sing-along doesn't sound like a good idea. Exploring an abandoned apartment building has gone wrong for these ghost hunters in Bangladesh.
Flooded kitchen, এটা আরেকটা রুম, এইটার হচ্ছে বড় রুম আছে আরো। আমরা এখন
In the corner of the room stands a figure with long black hair over its eyes that sends them running out of the building. It's freaky, but it looks more like somebody wearing a store-bought costume than a ghost sighting. It's creepy, but I'm not quite convinced that it's a real apparition. Are you? A YouTuber named BR Henry16 is deep in a Southern California mine when he sees a pale light off in the distance. The light doesn't have the intense brightness of modern electronics. Instead, it looks dim and swings at waist level, kind of like an old lantern would have. BR Henry16 is sure that this is the spirit of a cave miner, and I would have to agree. Let me know if you think the same, or if you believe this portion of the video was staged. This solo ghost hunt turned up some mysterious proofs. Published by Macleod in February of 2022, the Ghost Hunter scary video has the trifecta: mist, orbs, and voices. While walking along a dirt path at night in the forest, a strange mist moves in. It's the unusual shape and movement of the mist that makes it so eerie, like a spirit is swooping in. A round orb seems to be flying below it in tandem. The YouTuber says he didn't see it at the time he was filming.
I didn't see that at the time on the camera at all, but it does go by fast.
A second video filmed on the same night appears to have captured a disembodied voice. The voice murmurs, and this time the YouTuber hears it in the moment.
I have to look that back on the camera.
It does not sound like his voice, so whose is it? What do you make of this pair of videos? Looks like a successful ghost hunt requiring further investigation. After experiencing loads of paranormal activity in their home, Redditor As Crumner's son set up a camera to record through the night, and they finally caught something. A strange pillow creature moves rather clumsily near the son's bed at night.
Right here. Okay, whoop. Rewind it, bring that back, and then
it just whoops right up. Ready? Watch right here, watch right here.
Whoa, that's already creepy.
Yeah, so there I am.
That's
right
already
there.
creepy.
I'm right there.
And then it leaves as mysteriously as it came.
Ready? And then it just goes like...
It yeets
ready?
back out of existence.
There's my head right there, you can see me moving. And as soon as I
Yeets
moved...
back,
and do you see how as soon as I moved... As soon as I moved...
Looks like it's leaning in towards you.
Unless that's not
Jesus.
a blanket.
What
is that? Like
is
its
this?
skin?
It's hard to tell on the recording what the figure might be. I personally think it looks like a pillow or a blanket, but its behavior is odd to me. Of course, Reddit has fun with this one. I'm not 100% sold on the figure being a skinwalker, as I think there's a chance it could be either a leg or someone under the duvet, and if someone's creeping through the house dressed in blankets, then these guys have got more than paranormal problems to worry about. A doorbell cam video at 3 a.m. has caught some scary moments on tape that people need to see. Watch this and tell me if you think it's real or fake. A ghostly white apparition forms before the camera half a minute before 3 a.m. It looks pretty good at first, but then it kind of looks less real the longer you look at it. If I saw this phantom-like figure outside of my house at 3 a.m. like the uploader says they did, I would be absolutely terrified. It's 12 in the morning when this stranger starts creeping along the side of a fence in slow and even steps, as if in a deep trance. He has an old portable radio on full volume, and he doesn't say anything, just slowly turns the knob. Occasionally, he pauses long enough to stare through the fence without saying a word. His radio does plenty of communicating though, and this part is especially weird. The radio just so happens to say something about walking away here. They reach the end of the chain link fence and nothing separates the two. The video ends with a really long stare down that the strange man easily wins. He reaches into his coat pocket for something, and the cameraman bolts for cover. A smart decision. Over on the r/ghosts subreddit, a user named CamSunkissed shares a video of a home surveillance recording on his front porch while a pizza delivery driver drops off the order at the house. Seems fairly normal right now, but this simple pizza delivery turns into something much more terrifying in just a matter of seconds. Very clearly, you can just hear somebody's voice. It's almost like a whisper, and it doesn't seem to catch the pizza delivery man's attention. It's just very bizarre and out of place here. I'll just play it one more time. Just listen very, very closely. Amazingly, it doesn't even seem as if the pizza delivery driver even hears anything, so maybe this bizarre sounding voice was only audible once listening to the recording and not in person. That would definitely explain why the driver has no reaction whatsoever as soon as the voice starts speaking, but I would like to imagine that if he did hear it, he would be a little bit freaked out and would probably quickly drop the order off and leave immediately. One commenter says it sounds like perhaps Spanish, and he thinks the voice could be saying, "Do you listen to me?" Of course, this is just speculation, so take it with a grain of salt, but either way, this is one voice you certainly wouldn't want to hear on your security camera. Myrtle Sorosa is a popular model and actress from the Philippines who witnessed something unexplainable while on tour. In eastern Samar, she and her crew are navigating unlit back roads when they spot this small phantom-like figure in the street. In Myrtle's words, the white blob caught by the dash cam does not match what they saw in person. She says what they saw looked more like a child who was around 10 years old with a pale face and a bluish-white shirt. They wanted to double back and save the helpless child, but their tour guide said that this road is famous for child ghost sightings and that it was best to get out of there quickly. I guess this could all be just a publicity stunt, but since Eastern Samar once had a bad typhoon that claimed the lives of many children, I think that she is probably telling the truth. While investigating the haunted Bel Air house, Sunny finds that the stories are true. Sunny's experience there gets off to a rocky start. The crew starts to sense things and hear things.
Oh my. What? Oh man, Sonny was coming up.
You cheating? Why you got your light on?
I was trying to come down the steps.
You got your light on too. Y'all up here like a bunch of just turn your light off.
My light is off.
And then footsteps.
Came over here. Listen. Sounded like footsteps, but I think maybe picking up Christmas.
But do they belong to his crew? Or is someone unseen closer than he thinks? Either way, I think it's time to find the exit of this place. This is some serious EMF gone wrong. Published by Dark Life in March of 2022, Dennis held an EMF session in the basement of this old house in which girls are said to have gone missing. After spending some time in the basement, he hears something in the wardrobe. As he reaches toward it, the wardrobe starts to rock aggressively. Dennis runs from it, and in doing so appears to hurt his leg amongst all the rubbish in the basement. He looks back for a moment but decides it's best to leave the house. And after seeing this shell of a haunted home, wouldn't you? A YouTube channel called 3/Amir AMR searches for what his video title roughly translates into English as the most dangerous magician. Though its glowing eyes make it look less human and more like a jinn, the Arabic word for demons and spirits.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وش ده؟
The way the eyes come into focus at 1 minute and 4 seconds looks pretty good, but I think it might be special effects because the overall resolution seems to briefly drop. White and red eyes look at him from outside of a window, and there's a really good look at them here at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but these eyes look like they could be any of the city lights shown here when he goes outside. He does see the djinn standing outside of a window, eyes glowing white as ever. It disappears, then he sees either the same creature or possibly another one in the building directly behind him. Now feeling surrounded, he turns and flees this entire area, but not before catching glowing eyes looking at him from the window within. YouTuber Hype Mike heard unexplained sounds in this haunted mansion during a night he'll never forget. His cruise adventure gets off to a really rocky start.
What was that? What was that? Do you see that? What was that? Dude, I don't know what
Did you hit something?
Dude, what's going on?
Michelle, did you hit something?
I don't know, I
think
hit
so.
something.
Okay, everyone out.
Let's go.
They discover he did hit something, but they have no idea where it went.
What is that? Wait, what? Look! Wait. Dude, oh my. What the heck is that? Did you see it? There was something, it was like, I couldn't get a good look at it. I just saw like a black shadow that just ran across.
They find that whatever it was left a trail though.
Dude, this is like a lot of though.
Let's keep following it.
Well, wait. Obviously the friends of which. Look at this. Oh, yeah, on the leaf.
Then they hear the sound.
Is somebody there?
Hello?
There's like a tree.
I don't like this.
Yo, I'm going in the car. Yeah, let's go into the car right now, okay?
This old dormitory has a story to tell. According to the channel 01 Supernatural Studio, who published this video in February of 2022, this dormitory was left behind by a foreign company after an incident happened in this place. What type of incident though? Well, he doesn't go into detail, but considering the company left this place abandoned, it must not be a good one. Using thermotechnology along with an EMF meter, the ghost hunter quickly detects some energy here. As he's exploring the place, he's ascending the stairs when his EMF meter again detects an energy field. His thermotechnology spies what looks like a figure in the corner. Later, while he's standing still, he hears a faint noise coming from somewhere within the house. Who is there with him? Maybe this dorm hasn't been abandoned after all. An employee walks by when the corner of her hand cart gets caught on the corner of this looming wall display. She shakes it loose with a sharp tug, sending an entire wall of spiky pegged hooks cascading down. It looks like she gets taken out pretty badly. Then at the very end, she's standing off to the side, stunned but still okay. I'm so glad she is okay, but the thought of how this could have went wrong makes me still wish I hadn't seen this video. A solid stream of worm-like invaders moves in unison across the forest floor, while a dog whines with fear. Listen to the noises their dog makes, and try to tell me it's not warning them to get far away. There's got to be some kind of logical explanation in nature for this, but it sure looks like the start of a parasitic invasion to me. And when another canine joins in, I can't help but suspect this group has discovered something they'll soon wish they had never come across. Obviously the animals are on guard, but from what exactly is my question? Do you ever pull an all-nighter in a haunted house? Paranormal investigators Dennis and Tim pair up as Nerve Paranormal to spend the night in this haunted place. They set up cameras and a tape recorder inside. First, a shadow in the corner is seen.
Стояла будто бы тень вот так в углу. Да. Я тебе что хочу сказать-то? Смотри. Смотри, я эту фигню закрыл.
Once they have the cameras positioned, they go to sleep.
Ну все, в принципе. Так, заснуть.
Something immediately messes with their camera. And then their lights. Another camera captures something entering their room. You're probably asking yourself, how could they sleep through all that racket? Well, they won't sleep through this. There's nothing inside, but there definitely is, and I think Dennis and Tim won't be getting any more sleep tonight. This creepy moment caught on a doorbell cam from Knoxville, Tennessee, shows a shadowy creature dart across Brian Hobbs' suburban yard and then mysteriously disappear. Bizarre, right? Okay, so maybe seeing this mysterious creature sighting one time can be explained away as a camera glitch, but when the moving shadows returns and materializes into a wild animal running the opposite way, you know this scary moment could be paranormal. This scary video goes to show that real ghost sightings caught on doorbell cam aren't limited to humans. Beware of the shadows. When at Donovan Mill, the historic mining site in Silver City, Nevada, has a reputation, and it's not a good one. At least one documented incident of someone taking their own life has been recorded there. Perhaps it's the spirit from this unfortunate history that lingers in the mill. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, Facts by James TV writes, at 24 minutes 30 seconds you could see a shadow-like figure down the hallway at the very same space it is known to be haunted by a spirit named John that is very protective about that area. At the timestamp in question, you can see what James is talking about. He said he felt a presence, so they stopped and shined the flashlight down at the end of the hall. A small shadow figure appears there. Casting light down that way doesn't make it disappear. What do you think about this creepy catch? Would you have the guts to venture down the hall to investigate? Fear Hides Here, published to YouTube in July of 2021, this investigative team encountered something sinister. While investigating in broad daylight, the crew only just enters the creepy abandoned house when a scary loud racket is heard.
Mau cheiro insuportável. Pelo amor de Deus. Mas nem chegamos aqui, o que foi isso?
Something is thrown against the wall in another room and sounds like it breaks apart. In one room, the investigators break out an EMF sensor, which starts beeping dramatically when it's held up toward one part of the ceiling.
Cara, será que dá pra olhar aqui em cima aqui, ó? Bom, parei.
One of the crew boosts another up to the crawl space in the ceiling to see what's triggering the device. It looks like the crawl space was being lived in at one point, as a pair of shoes and a book or pamphlet is up there amongst the soot and garbage. As they realize the book is a diary, banging is heard in the next room. Something is opening and closing the door.
Tá cheio de nome, mano.
Caramba, cara.
Foi isso, cara?
Não sei, foi só pegar isso aqui. Olha aqui a porta, cara. Olha a porta.
Moça, velho. Que isso, mano?
It looks like the hidden figure doesn't want that diary to be read. The cameraman checks outside, but there's nothing. A short while later, another bang is heard, and that's when the diary spontaneously combusts. Cameraman is holding the diary when a corner of the paper catches fire. He throws it to the ground in surprise.
Pô, vamos ficar esperto, porque aqui é eternite, mano. Se vai alguma coisa. Olha lá, ali, ó, tá caindo ali, ó. Caramba, cara. Ei, ô, o negócio. Oxe, velho.
Pegou fogo do nada?
When he picks it back up, a glass breaks in the next room.
Nossa, cara. Cara, o negócio começou a pegar fogo aqui do nada. Tem uns símbolos aqui, ó.
O que tá escrito aí em volta desse símbolo?
Causing him to throw it down again. When they gain the courage to pick it up again, another bang is heard, although its source remains unseen.
Tinha Lúcio Te Adoro por aqui. Toma, filho.
Oi, que puta que
Nossa, mano. As abelhas.
Será que... Nossa, mano.
They enter another room, clearly afraid of what's going on around them and the entity that they've made angry.
Sai da porta, espera se esconder um pouco, velho.
Que jeito, cara. Aqui, o negócio tá caindo aqui, velho. Aqui, ó.
Aqui é laje, vem aqui, aqui é laje. Vem pra cá.
Puta que pariu, a casa vai cair, mano.
Feio, a gente ficou... Vai ficar preso aqui um tempo, mano.
Later, they are simply standing in a room capturing video when a fire lights beneath one crew member's feet unbeknownst to him.
E agora, velho? Cuidado aí,
tá pegando fogo aí, feio.
Another runs towards him and pulls him away, and the fire goes out on its own. For the grand finale, they enter the main room, and one of the crew appears to see something in a gap in the roof. A scary shadow leaves the gap as something breaks, causing the crew to vacate the premises ASAP.
Caraca, feio.
Mano, vamos como é que aqui agora, cara. Aqui, ó. Puta que pariu. Nossa, mano. Nossa, velho. Vai, sai, sai.
What was in that diary? Something incriminating? We'll never know because the spirit doesn't want us to. This couple is dedicated to, as their description states, the search of paranormal activity in places with terrifying histories. As is sometimes possible when investigating, ghosts have followed investigators to their homes, and they believe someone they made contact with on a previous investigation did just that. On January 21st, 2021, they hosted a live stream to document what they believed was a haunting in their home, hoping to document evidence and find answers. They invited the public to join on their session. The first half of the investigation seems to produce little results, but something rather disturbing appears as they venture down the stairs. Through a glazed window overlooks the stairs, the figure of a woman can be seen staring towards the camera. At first glance, it can be easily mistaken for a painting, but when inspecting it closer, you can see there is actual 3D depth to it, something a painting would be impossible to have. The figure looks either like a woman with long dark hair or someone wearing a robe. To further prove it is not a painting, the same window is shown a few minutes later and the figure is gone. Furthermore, they venture outside to show the other side, and it is several feet above the ground, making it impossible for anyone to get up there without a ladder. Nothing around the window resembles the figure, as it has simply vanished. As they descend further down the stairs, an orb can be seen flying fast across the top left corner of the screen. Once they reach the bottom step, a loud, low exhale can be heard.
La esfera.
The sound is too low pitched to be either of the couple, as we could hear them breathe beforehand and it doesn't match. It is also possible it was the sound of something sliding, although we cannot see what or if anything moves. Unfortunately, the remainder of the video becomes uneventful and other apparent orbs can be easily explained. For example, while they are filming a mirror, a glowing orb-like spectacle can be seen flying around. However, when the camera's light is turned off, it disappears, meaning it was simply a glare from the light itself. It's terrifying to imagine something becoming attached to you and following you back to your home. It's one of the risks when going on investigations, meaning it is not for the faint of heart. It also shows how there are more than just the physical dangers on these adventures, with even professional investigators such as Ghost Adventures suffering from severe states of paranormal oppression and even possession. It goes as a warning for those who decide to take up the cause for themselves. Take heed proceed and be aware of what you are getting into, even if you are a skeptic or non-believer. Respect the locations you are visiting. A YouTuber named Kelsey Davies is investigating a haunted house in a neighborhood in California with a particularly nefarious history. After setting up a flashlight in the middle of an otherwise empty room, Kelsey and her team discover an oddly shaped anomaly traveling clockwise. Nothing is dangling above them to reflect light, so like them, I have no idea what this is, but I'm open to your guesses.
It's moving, its shape is shifting.
Yeah, this thing's been moving for like a long time. We don't know what it is.
At 1 minute and 55 seconds, Kelsey claims that the object turned into the outline of a face. I think it still looks the same as before, but tell me if you can see what she means.
I like see outlines of it. Like it looks like a head. Oh my god, you can see it's like a body.
A YouTuber named Benny Loco is on a desert urban exploration in a bunch of abandoned houses that are empty, or so she thinks. She steps inside and looks to the right, no one, but standing on an opposite side of the room, under some drapes, is a silhouette that she thinks is some kind of animal figure because of these supposed ears.
With the bunny in the window. Creepy bunny.
But all I see is a hooded figure staring at her through a thin piece of fabric. This is one of the only times I've seen somebody laugh off a ghost sighting and not check to see what it was. All of the windows are blocked, so I guess she could be looking at a piece of cardboard or something. But since something just moved in that room and then disappeared, I have to go with paranormal activity on this one. Luke either has a problem with his car's motion detection system or his house is haunted. No in-betweens. So I know it's probably mistaking the can for a person because they're about the same size, but why does it suddenly do this? The trash can obviously doesn't move, and yet the icon abruptly turns towards him after 20 seconds of recording. It doesn't turn left, it doesn't look behind, it looks straight his way for no reason. Is this a real ghost sighting video or a glitch with his car? After the alarm went off at their cafe, Redditor ODHB went to check the CCTV footage. This is what they found. A dark figure moves into the corner and shortly after races across the room. The figure doesn't seem tall. Compare it to the table nearby. It looks like it's crawling on all fours. Some in the comments think it's a cat or a dog. They even say they see 4 legs. But the figure seen briefly at the beginning of the video looks much taller. Could it be an animal climbing in from the window, jumping down, and then scurrying past? That would be my logical explanation. But even if it's not, I think we can rule out a bug on this one. Number 8. This intruder can walk through walls. Posted to the r/ghost video subreddit. A scary figure was captured on Redditor ALOOPS friend surveillance feed at around 1 in the morning. The video shows a dark and empty yard. At first, first, nothing appears unusual, but watch the back doorway. About 30 seconds in, a pale figure can be seen walking from left to right. You can see it outlined in the dark doorway, but if you look closely, it actually shows up seconds before, appearing semi-transparent as it walks past the exterior wall and turns into the doorway, disappearing inside the house. While some in the comments think a genuine spirit has been captured, others suggest it's a combination of a prowler and a distortion from the cheap night vision camera. Honestly though, either is terrifying. Nadim Shah suspects he's caught some paranormal things on video when he goes exploring an abandoned building that is little more than pillars in the dark. He suspects a place this creepy has to be haunted, and the ghost hunter's instincts are not wrong.
हम देखते हैं अगर हमें कोई यहाँ पे भारी चीज या कोई जिनों का साया नजर आता है कि नहीं। हम जिन की तलाश में निकल तो नाजरीन ये कुछ हिलता हुआ हमें नजर आया है, तो ये आवाजें कैसी आ रही है। आए नाजरीन हम हिम्मत करके वहाँ जाने की कोशिश करते।
2 ghost sightings are enough for Nadim. He needs a paranormal encounter up close to be fully convinced. He follows the ghost into the darkness for one final sighting.
इसको देखते हैं ये कौन सी मखलूक है, क्या चीज़ है, इसको हम पकड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं। ये इस तरफ से नजर आ रही है, इधर से हम जाने की कोशिश करते हैं।
He's all alone when a slow-moving shadow figure glides across the pillar without making a sound. It's not someone walking behind him either, because Nadim would already be blocking out the light himself. It's a real ghost sighting as far as I'm concerned. A paranormal entity, a moving shadow that deeply creeps him out and sends him on his way. Enough said. A YouTuber named Dan Baines is the keeper of Mr. Fritz, a ventriloquist dummy that was once used to entertain the troops during the 1940s. He's very old and has since fallen apart to the point where all that remains is his disembodied head. Mr. Fritz is believed to be possessed by the spirit of his creator, a man who lost his life in battle and refuses to rest in peace. Lately, Dan has been seeing and hearing things all around the antique, so he sets up a camera to record. It's 3:30 in the morning when the glass door pops open. I don't see a string. Do you? This happens again at around the same time the next night, except this time his eyes open. String or no string, watch this part and tell me how a wooden ventriloquist dummy can open its eyes with no one nearby. And if you zoom in for a closer look, you'll see 2 orbs race by shortly after the case opens. I'm not saying that this video is impossible to fake, but unless this is an electronic prop that is being controlled with a remote, then I don't see how it can be done. Is this cat talented, or is it possessed? Published by Darrell Zand in May of 2012, this couple captured their cats acting out of character, crawling between the upper door frames near the ceiling like some crazy trapeze artist. As the couple is filming, a mysterious, vibrant blue streak flies toward the camera. The cameraman sees it in the moment and comments on it.
Which thing they eat?
Yeah, that was weird.
What?
Was that a ghost orb? Some in the comments certainly think so, but most think the cat was scared beyond measure, not possessed. The cat even appears to watch the strange orb as it flies across the room. What do you think? Scared, possessed, or something else altogether? This video experiment proves something which many governments do not want the general public to know. Turning objects invisible is actually way easier than you would think. Look what happens when this YouTuber lowers a basic glass test tube into vegetable oil.
But if I actually put it in far enough that the entire test tube is submerged, it vanishes almost completely.
This simple experiment proves that certain liquids can actually bend light around an object to render it invisible. The key is pairing the right reflective properties with the right objects. This basic scientific principle is what governments are currently experimenting with to create cloaking devices for humans and even aircrafts one day, if they haven't done so already. To further prove their point, this YouTuber pulls out a second test tube that's been hidden in the center of the glass the whole time. Let me know if you think this experiment really does have any military potential, or if this whole idea is too far-fetched to have any practical use. A YouTuber named Trey P is wandering around an empty graveyard somewhere in New Orleans all by himself when he hears this voice out of nowhere. He claims that the voice belongs to a ghost, though to be honest, it might just be his. The only way to tell if this video is real would be to have Trey P say a sentence and then compare his voice with the voice in the video.
Dad, what the heck?
Blake Newdorf is fishing with his dad on a pier in Kelowna, BC when he sees a giant creature off in the distance, at least 60 feet according to his estimate. Blake is sure that this is the famous Ogopogo Lake monster. Apparently, it has some kind of sharp scales, from what he says here at 1 minute and 13 seconds.
It looks like it has spikes.
The camera is not good enough to pick up much detail aside from a basic outline. I think it kind of looks like it could be a piece of driftwood, but I guess at 60 feet long it would have to be a whole tree. Whatever it is, it floats around the bend where the water channels into a small bay. According to Blake, when they went around the corner to follow it, it was suddenly gone. Unfortunately, by that point, they had for some reason stopped recording. If what they are saying is true though, then this couldn't have been driftwood. If you're going to rent a historic home, don't expect to get any sleep. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, Securius Cymbalum was staying at a 500-year-old cottage when something odd happened. The light shade moved outward on its own. This prompted the Redditor's dog to freak out. He's seen in the video staring at something and whining for several minutes. What is this dog seeing that's invisible to the human eye? Many in the comments describe similar experiences with their dogs. Some look in a certain corner of the room, others in the hallway, and they don't budge. Others say many of their ghost encounters were with their dog. So what is it about the spirit world and animal senses? What are they seeing that we don't? I think it may forever remain a mystery. Brian Wood is not home when somebody he doesn't know decides to enter his home in Belen, New Mexico. All he can do is watch helplessly as they violate his home, walking out with item after item of things he's worked hard for. Knowing the police are on the way gives Brian some relief, but it doesn't do much good when somebody enters the same room as your pets and you have no idea what they intend to do to them. The intruder doesn't seem to care about his cat. He's done this many times before and is so at ease that he makes a phone call when he walks around a stranger's home talking to someone about the items he's taking while ransacking drawers and jacket pockets. By the time he's through, he's standing right in front of a security camera. He doesn't even seem fazed or worried about getting caught as he palms it and leaves. Cops arrived minutes too late, but he was caught the next day. He makes no attempt to conceal his face or fingerprints, so I'm not surprised. If Brian didn't have this creepy encounter recorded on live stream, it would have been a lot harder. Is this a werewolf, a cryptid, or something else? Redditor Twist of Fate 666 shares this creepy video of a mysterious creature in the darkness. Watch closely and tell me what you think. I think I'd run for the hills if I saw this in my backyard, but Redditors have many different takes. It looks like a demon at this angle, but still others think it's something natural. Is this an elephant or a four-legged stilt Halloween costume, as some Redditors are suggesting? Or, like the uploader thinks, could this be a werewolf? There are so many options that I feel I'm leaving this guessing game with more questions than answers. This video stands as a clear warning to always verify who is at your door before you answer it. This ring video was originally posted to TikTok by Wynn's Home Awareness. The video shows a man wearing a hood approaching the door of this residence. It's nighttime. He rings the doorbell, and when the homeowner opens it, the man immediately enters without asking. It's clear he is a stranger. When the homeowner tells the man he needs to leave, the intruder starts stammering incomprehensibly.
Who are you? Air brain out of here. You need to leave. Out there. Out there. What is there, girl?
The homeowner has to physically grab the man's arm and shove him outside. As he slams the door shut, the man starts pounding on it.
What? What the adult fair here? Come on, where are you going? What the there? Goodbye.
Even though he's now locked out, the intruder stands on the front step looking in. He tries the handle several times, just waiting there. What are this man's intentions? We can only guess, but I'd wager they aren't good. Ball lightning are luminescent phenomenons usually linked to thunderstorms. The rare anomalies have been recorded throughout history in various sizes, from the size of a pea to several feet wide. The following clip appears to capture this phenomenon. Published to YouTube by Roman Tregubov in August of 2016, the so-called lightning fireball was captured in Russia at the edge of a field. Stormy weather darkens the sky as the fireball moves slowly across the horizon. Surrounded by blue lights, the ball flares up randomly and disappears behind some tall trees, but is still visible beyond. Although some are sure this is ball lightning, YouTuber Jason W suggests an alternative theory in the comments, to which others agree. He writes, "That's an arc of electricity going across two different phases on a power line. Not that weird, but pretty cool to witness as long as you're far away." The Redditor claims that there are no power lines in this area to validate this explanation, but again, it's hard to tell from this distance. What do you think? Do you agree with Roman or Jason? Either way, this brilliant ball of light would be a crazy sight to encounter. Two friends are taking a swim in the clear blue seas. One of them does the backstroke and incidentally saves them both from disaster.
Hey, watch that shark. Oh, get in the boat, get in the boat. Look, he's right there. He's right there. What the f is that? Get in the boat, get in the boat, get in the boat, get in the boat. Get in the shark right there. No shit. I'm not kidding.
And it wasn't just passing by either. The shark doubles back for a second look, no doubt tracking their scent to the exact area where they just were.
Look at him. He's coming right here. Oh!
Broadcast of devastating weather in Peru captured something unusual. TikToker PG Stories Official shares this footage of a mysterious creature lurking in the debris. This was taken in Santo Domenico. Watch closely as the camera pans around. A strange figure is lurking just out of sight. The figure crouches down further when it is seen. What is this thing? Its arms look irregularly elongated, but it's otherwise hard to make out its features. Is it a creature that only appears in bad weather? If the footage was a little clearer, I might have a better idea. But for now, I'm gonna say it's the love child of a rake man-shade spirit ghoul. I've got a challenge. A YouTuber named The Real JP is renovating an old cellar when he notices something weird on the wall. A big bat flies straight at my face, he later writes. This large pipe is the only thing that keeps the bat from getting on him when it leaps from the wall.
I do not know where he went.
Hopefully it went out the cellar door. If you were a fan of Tales from the Crypt, this scary video is right up your alley. Published by Proving Demons in October of 2021, this video welcomes you to the land of the no longer living. When they arrive on site, the first thing that greets them is a cemetery.
Oh, it's a cemetery.
There's a cemetery here.
Navigating through brambles down to a lower entrance, they arrive at a barbed wire fence. It's clear that the owners didn't want anyone getting in here. They have to wade through the barbed wire to get to the door, having traveled 5 hours to explore this site.
Oh, please, God, let it be open. We've traveled 5.5 hours.
At last, they arrive at the door and are thankfully able to open it. Wandering through the old church, they encounter several crypts. More open crypts and coffins are found at the end of the hallway, while well water floods the floor. A human skull is in one open coffin and there is human hair still on it.
No.
Education. So, I want to point out, just shine a light on it for me. There's still hair on its head. Still got teeth. Obviously, oh, that's rotting brain in there.
As he's prodding the skull head, they think they hear something down the hallway.
What?
What's wrong?
Examining the skull more closely, you can see it still has human hair and teeth. As they're talking about how it felt like someone was walking behind them, someone shushes them from what sounds like the corner of the room.
I've heard that from Luke. What's that? The shh. Somebody just shushed us.
It seems this team of urban explorers has disturbed the peace. All I know is I would never be going back to that place. This stadium is haunted by a black shadow. YouTuber Outdoor Xiao Long is searching for it when this happens. Later, he sees the red ball he saw last time he was here. He starts running toward it when it upends him. Evil seems to be following him everywhere here. Keep a close eye on the mirror. A shadow figure is standing beside him. Did you see it? Is it a trick of the light? Our eyes? That's what I would have thought, but it disappears when he turns back. But it's not just that shadow that's freaking viewers out. Watch this next scene. What was that? A face peeks out at him from the doorway. It looks like a woman with long hair. Looks to me like the shadow figure isn't the only thing Xiao Long has to worry about in here. This place is a demon's paradise, and it seems like they're out to get him. The San Antonio Cemetery in Texas could be one of the scariest places in the world to go exploring if this video is real. A ghost hunter from the Paranormal Journal stands in total darkness when some creepy things are caught on camera, and despite the lack of light, what he experiences is downright terrifying. His paranormal equipment detects movement, and then a single word crackles across the spirit box in an odd, staticky voice. He never shows us exactly where he positioned the motion detection equipment, so it could be detecting his movement or a gust of wind for all we know. But here's something weird. If you look closely, there is a strange phantom light at 29 seconds, the same moment that the motion detection alarm goes off, that soon fades away. I would say there's another investigator, but I think that he might have been exploring the haunted cemetery all alone that night. If so, I have no idea what this light is, and even if it was a member of his team, that still doesn't explain the odd voice moments later that says hello. A man in Russia goes exploring a field by the side of the road with a metal detector and detects a ghost instead.
Привидение. І ще так світиться іменно як фосфор, таким зеленим, таким класно, яскраво.
Off in the distance is what he suspects could be the apparition of a roadside phantom. It's pretty bizarre, but this image taken at 7 minutes and 11 seconds looks more like a roadside marker than anything paranormal. The only problem is I have no idea what the road signs look like in Russia. So tell me if this is one of them or not, then we'll all know if this video is paranormal. There's nothing else like it on this whole stretch of road, and he's never seen it before, so maybe he's making it up, or maybe it's something weird after all. A Russian YouTuber known as Tret shared a video online of him wandering around through a local forest equipped with a video camera. Because the video is in Russian, I'm not entirely sure what he is saying during the video, but I'm going to assume he is saying he is filming in the forest to see if he can capture anything of interest on camera. And if that is what he's saying, then he got exactly what he wished for.
Как-то мрачно, очень мрачно. Еще и в колодце что-то шипит. Может, узок.
Wow. What the heck is that? It looks like a human face, but its eyes are glowing, and you can kind of see it almost looks like a skull with glowing eyes. And what the heck it's doing down here is a question I do not have the answer to. It looks like it's at the bottom of a well and notices that it's being filmed and just sort of looks straight up into the camera. That is just terrifying. And in classic fashion, the cameraman runs away immediately after seeing this, which is totally understandable given the circumstances. Instead of looking like some sort of paranormal entity, I personally think that this looks like some sort of skeleton because of the shape of its head, and I can almost make out some bones. Interestingly though, this skeleton-like creature seems to have dark glowing purple eyes, which would be strange considering how skeletons are not alive. So what exactly is this creature that Tret saw? As for now, it remains a mystery. What would you do if you lived in a haunted house? YouTuber Charles Larita and the Mischief decided to film it. He posted this video in June of 2011, writing, "My house is seriously haunted, and I'm still freaked out about this." In the video, he claims he always hears noises coming from his room, even when there's no one there, and while he's in his room, he feels a strange presence. After setting up a camera at night with the lights on, he discovered something strange around 2 hours into the footage. Here's what he found. The video shows a shot of the room, somewhat unfocused, with a chest of drawers, a black guitar case leaning up against it, and a door. After a moment, the light on the chest of the drawers starts to shake back and forth slightly. Something falls off the top of the chest, and then the door to the left swings closed with exactly no one in sight. Many in the comments are freaked out by this bizarre clip. with BTS Nelly Thickums writing, "Move out of that house." Others agree they would have hightailed it out of that place. What would you do if this was your home? This scary doorbell video is from the Chills Narrator subreddit, and it was posted by Tay Harley Quinn. They say their camera has never acted weird before, but for some reason this mysterious shadow figure, transparent and paranormal, is traveling at a high rate of speed behind a truck at random. Some people say this is a person on a bike, while others say it's somebody running, but most agree that this video is paranormal from the looks of it. A small number of people say that this is a glitch, but fail to go into much explanation, even though I would like to hear more. Until then, I think this could be a real ghost sighting caught on home security camera. Mina is making a TikTok video home alone when the door behind mysteriously creaks open to reveal an empty room on the other side. You can see she looks slightly confused but not scared as she turns around and then back again. This looks like a paranormal video at first, but look again, follow the top of the door, and you'll see that it's slightly ajar at the very beginning of the video, so this is probably just a draft blowing it open the rest of the way. This strange and scary reflection looks like someone is staring straight into the window of a YouTuber named Hatchet TV. It's dark outside and there's absolutely no light, so exactly how this reflection is able to appear in the first place is a mystery. Look up close and you can make out an oversized and misshapen head with a large nose and ghoulish frown.
I see it right there. That's crazy. Turn on the light.
At first I thought this video was obviously fake because he was recording his own reflection, but when Hatchet TV turns on the lights and steps back, the face is still there. I have no other explanation besides the paranormal. This port city in western Saudi Arabia looks like the aftermath of a building collapse or else some kind of terrible eruption, but it's none of that. It's actually just starting and the worst is yet to come. A massive plume of smoke spreads evenly across the horizon, and at 1 minute and 15 seconds you briefly get a glimpse of where it finally ends. There's no outrunning this event and finding shelter is almost pointless. The cloud is growing taller by the minute as it heads towards them. The air is becoming gritty and it's getting harder to breathe. Vehicles desperately try to get away at the last second, but it's too late for any of them to get far, nor the cameraman for that matter, who seems resigned to his fate and makes no such attempt. This is a massive sandstorm, and if you haven't found shelter by now, you're in big trouble. The winds pick up and everything around him starts creaking unsteadily.
Yan, nandito na. Nandito na ang isang storm. Darating na. Sige.
Someone tell me what his last words are, and if you think he made it through this event.
Yan, oh. Ano ka magpili?
Those are the last recorded moments before I assume the sand broke his camera. We may not get to see what happens next, but I doubt it was anything good. Either way, there's something about the possibility of this whole town getting buried alive that makes this video creepy beyond words. While streaming live at a New Orleans graveyard at night on February 8th, 2020, Franco TV encounters not the undead, but the living. In the beginning, he describes his first encounter with a man in the graveyard, explaining that he'd been warned that thieves in New Orleans like to come after people who explore the city's graveyards at night. He said he'd encountered this man twice already in this episode, explaining that the man was on foot, had a book bag and approached him, passed him, and then circled around while he was outside of his car walking through the mausoleum. He feels a bit shaky from this encounter and says he doesn't know if he's going to exit his vehicle again, but he follows his audience's risky advice and does anyway. As Franco is out, walking around the creepy stone grave solo, he starts to feel unsafe again, and after a time returns to his car. He is examining an above-ground crypt from his vehicle when he hears some footsteps. He continues to drive around the cemetery, saying he heard something from behind his car that sounded like a knocking. He says he can't get out of his car again because he thinks someone else is there. In fact, there he is. After turning around, Franco zooms in on a man walking toward him down the cemetery road. What is this man doing in a graveyard at night? Is he too live streaming for YouTube? It certainly doesn't look like it. Franco doesn't know what to do but continue to drive, passing the guy seemingly without issue. He speeds up, getting out of the graveyard as quickly as possible. As he tries to find the exit, he says the man was literally chasing after his car. He says he felt the man hit the back of it, and as he flees, explains that he must get out of there and find a safe place. He then warns viewers not to enter a New Orleans graveyard at night, as if we needed any warning after watching this. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by FitEntry2562, this redditor wrote, "Lightning without thunder." Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
This guy is only time swap by me. I did not know I could have just waited and build a fat core.
He's already stated fraud and things. Illegal, I
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Zoidberg GE thinks that this is heat lightning, while Tillman117 wrote, "There's no such thing as heat lightning. The reason why you can't hear it is because it's simply too far away. The light from lightning can travel a very large distance as the sound cannot, considering clouds can be thousands of feet in the air, and the distance you are from that cloud currently can just mean it's too far away for you to hear it."
Some more have a few apples from down the short act to their grasses and what for like put out so out hard on that one. You thought about some earth in that and does it not some green things always tell one makes it. You think like thing.
So it seems like both sides are at least in agreement that this mysterious storm has an explanation, but nevertheless, what do you think this is? Let me know in the comments. The next time you shower, don't look up. Published by Tia Bassi in March of 2022, this creepy video shows what could be the hair in your drain come to life. The clip shows a shower curtain pulled to the side, while up in the corner near the ceiling is this extraterrestrial-like critter. It looks spidery, but with even more legs than usual. It somehow also looks like a great pile of tangled hair. What do you think this is? I think it's time to throw the whole house away. If your apartment is this haunted, it's time to pack up and leave. This creepy investigation by YouTuber Seeker of Ghosts reveals some extreme poltergeist activity. It starts with the chimes. Then the poltergeist moves on to this cup. A moment later, a stool moves. Later, the TV turns on by itself. This is shortly followed by the kitchen door closing on its own. Apparently, this ghost doesn't know if he wants in or out. It's not clear what decision he eventually made, but it's clear to me that this place is really haunted. And the result is this scary video that I wish wasn't so scary. Don't look now. Creepy videos don't get much scarier than the creature caught lurking around Anton Meyer's house. No, his house is not haunted, at least not in the traditional sense, but this scary moment will definitely haunt him for the rest of his days in South Africa. The animal control expert needs to move the snake into a cylinder containment unit on the floor, but as more and more of the creature stretches forth, I don't think it will fit. I wanted to know if this is a snouted cobra like he says it is. If so, these snakes are highly venomous and probably the absolute last species you'd want in your home, let alone in such an intimate area. Oh, and by the way, according to the description of this video, the handler accidentally lost his grip and the snake made the watery retreat back to where it came from. Hopefully it doesn't make a second appearance when they least expect it, but since cobras tend to be territorial during certain parts of the year, it's likely to return at some point. A ghost hunting group called No Fear Paranormal lives up to their name while exploring a haunted cemetery with a K2 meter, a spirit box, and some recording equipment. The name of the haunted place they're exploring is the Tonopah Cemetery in Nevada. They ask it a question, but apparently whatever is nearby has only one topic on its mind.
Can you tell us how many of us are out here? How many people are in the cemetery?
A scary voice of a man comes through their paranormal equipment and calmly responds with 2 words, a demon. I'm not sure if this is a real ghost EVP or not, but the way it immediately tells them that a demon is nearby is frightening to say the least, and possibly more than a creepy coincidence. This house of music is turning into a somber melody. YouTuber Max from Paranormal Point pulls an overnighter in the abandoned music house, and it has no more lullabies. Max quickly senses something is there. After a while, whatever is possessing this house is impacting him too.
Мне сейчас стало не по себе, у меня закружилась голова, резкая слабость в теле. Я не знаю, что это происходит. Вообще я себя странно чувствую.
And it appears that there's something behind him. An EVP session produces a message from the spirits. And we discover what this house is. That's not all either. According to the spirit, there are a lot of souls here. I think Max better take that as his cue to leave before he becomes one of them. An unidentified flying object was caught on camera during a lightning storm in Miami, Florida. Redditor Bacon Tire shares the video, originally posted to TikTok by the Hall family 2018.
Dude, over here, come here. Look right above the trees. Come here, right above the trees. What? Dude, what is that? That is not a plane either. It is not.
At first, it appears that the unidentified flying object is not moving, but then it does this.
Oh, dude. Did you see how fast it just went? There it is. It's right there. Dude, yeah, did you see how fast that thing just went? Oh my gosh. That is a UFO. Dude, where did it go?
Is this an extraterrestrial spacecraft waiting out the storm? Some believe that its sudden disappearance is due to cloaking. Others are skeptical of the footage, saying the acting is too poor to be believed.
Dude, what is that? That is not a plane either. It is not moving. Oh my gosh, dude. Me neither.
Is this credible, or is this a clickbait and switch? I'm leaning towards staged on this one, but I want to believe. Number 20, called The Real Exorcist House. The Hinsdale house has been explored by a laundry list of paranormal professionals. Add YouTuber Exploring with Angelo to that list. While using a Ouija board with Jasco, they land on a message they don't want to receive.
Z-A-L? Something? Oh, no. Put this to goodbye. Goodbye. What does that mean? Oh, no. What does that mean? A-Z-A... I get it now. A-Z-A-Z-E-L. Azazel. Oh. A demon. Oh.
A moment later, Angelo starts feeling lightheaded, while Jasco starts feeling something else.
Really lightheaded all of a sudden. What's going on? Dude, it literally feels like something is just holding my arm right now. Like, dude, your hairs are like standing up. Look at that.
It literally,
what the hell? It's like
bro,
static.
look at my. You could literally see a marker, like something literally around my hand right now.
The tingling lasts for a long time, and Jasko thinks a change of scenery will help.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go outside. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Holy cow, dude.
Did a demon just enter and try to hold Jasko's hand? If so, I don't think Jasko should allow himself to be led anywhere. Azazel only wants one thing: to steal his soul. This security footage will make you forego your chores. TikToker Little and Large 13 was retrieving her laundry from the line when this happened. Watch the crack in the fence. A skull-white face peers into her backyard. Although that's some creepy CGI in my opinion. It does kind of look like a harmless panda to me. Nevertheless, if I saw this in my backyard, I'd be nothing short of terrified. A YouTuber named Adrian Bustamante documents yet another night of paranormal activity in his apartment to prove once and for all it's haunted. There are a few different paranormal videos on his channel, but March 9th of 2017 is when the best paranormal evidence yet is caught on camera. He doesn't have ghost hunting equipment, but he is still able to pin down the supernatural activity to one corner of the room. It isn't long before he gets all of the paranormal proof he needs.
Odd.
It looks like the object's moving by itself, but at 1 minute and 45 seconds, I'm almost positive there's a string tied around the bottom of the glass vase. My overall analysis is that Adrian's probably moving the object himself, but your opinion can help me decide if this paranormal evidence is fake or real. This leaked video is over 10 years old and comes from Tacoma County in Washington. A couple are hiking together on Valentine's Day when they hear something in the sky and look up.
Oh my god.
That is on fire.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Holy sh**.
God!
Some kind of meteorite falls towards Earth, and they rush down the path to investigate. They quickly find the rock sticking out of the ground and make a quick video to document their find.
Get me and it. Yes, it is. Go, talk, please.
This thing has come out of the sky.
Their reactions seem pretty real, but I'm not sure if I believe that a meteorite could land that closely without causing some kind of damage to them. Let me know if you think this video is legitimate. I'm especially interested in learning exactly what happens to people who are close to a meteorite, because from what I understand, I thought they usually go deaf from the impact. You may remember this clip from a year ago when it was trending in the Eastern European YouTube community. Now it's trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. So we're gonna take another look. Appearing on Breakman, the clip is originally from the Singapore channel True Horror Stories POV, filmed in the point of view of someone navigating hallways, elevators, and a stairwell while being stalked. Its first-person perspective continues to give me chills, and the stalker is not of this world. What is this figure? And what does it want from this person? One viewer, YouTuber Abdul Mateen bin Ismail, pointed out a significant piece of symbolism in the clip that I hadn't noticed during the first watch. At timestamp 4:44, the person in the elevator is passing the 4th floor when a figure appears outside the elevator. Watch closely. Did you see it? Well, this thrill ride is a reenactment. According to the original source, it's based on actual events. If this is indeed something someone experienced, I'm surprised they lived to tell the tale. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.